The views and opinions of the hosts and guests are their own and do not necessarily reflect the views of the management and staff of Guardian Radio.
Good morning. That cold front leading to power outages all across the country. Meanwhile, a power struggle at BPL as Bahamas grid distances itself from an island-wide blackout in New Providence. Investigations continue to that industrial accident from last week, and the PLP ratifying its final 13 candidates. It's all straight ahead this morning. I'm Dwight, and this is Morning Blend.
It's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day. It's the start of a new way. Don't you know that it's the start of the end of the old way. Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day.
Good morning, Bahamas. Again, I'm Dwight Strachan. This is Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9. In a moment, DeAndre Cartwright will be joining us. Also this morning, the countdown to the Super Bowl is on, less than a week away now. And do you know where you're going to watch it this Sunday? Well, Nassau Cruiseport has some ideas for you. They'll tell us all about that. Later, we are talking with the Department of Public Health about some of their accomplishments over the past year, some of the changes to healthcare and more. We'll get to that this morning. That's all ahead, but first, it's time for the overnight, the latest breaking news from while we're sleeping, and the top national and international headlines this morning. In the overnight, a social media post by Bahamas Grid Company on Sunday during a New Providence blackout and conversations with multiple individuals close to matters involving Bahamas Grid and BPL, revealing an intensifying power struggle brewing between the two entities. BGC deleted the post, in which it appeared to distance itself from blame associated with an island-wide power disruption. That post had already been shared extensively, though. The company was created by U.S.-based Pike Corporation and the Bahamas government to control the transmission and distribution network on New Providence. BGC informing that all its crews were in the field working to restore power to all of the island. It said, quote, "As for your questions on restoration, timing, and why the power went out so extensively, like many of you, we are also trying to figure out more information from BPL right now. Unfortunately, for reasons unknown to BGC, the BGC team has been denied access to New Providence Control Center by BPL management since last week, despite it being BGC's contractual right to jointly manage in the control center." Well, BPL would not directly confirm nor deny BGC's claim that it was denied access to the control center. BGC's communications director, Theo Seeley, saying only, quote, "Bahamas Power and Light continues to work hand in hand with Bahamas Grid Company as we both aim to better serve the consumers in New Providence, even in the face of an island-wide blackout which occurred during the early morning hours of Sunday, February 1st. Well, as you said, power outages all over New Providence and many other parts of the country as well. That cold front brought with it heavy winds and near historic low temperatures caused power outages across the country. On New Providence, an island-wide blackout lasted for hours yesterday. BPL said that issues began shortly after 11 p.m. on Saturday when severe winds led multiple areas to trip offline. While power was restored to some communities by sunrise, others remained without electricity for hours. As of yesterday afternoon, BPL said its emergency response teams, along with BGC, were in the process of responding to 45 calls to restore power to affected customers. Outages were also reported on other islands in the northern and central Bahamas. Communities all over Abaco experienced power outages yesterday as a result of the weather, but BPL said power was fully restored to South Abaco yesterday afternoon. Most of North Abaco was back online, but BPL said a transformer in Green Turtle Key was still off as of yesterday afternoon. And on Bimini, power was restored to Alistown, but as of yesterday afternoon, South Bimini was awaiting the arrival of a team to work on the restoration. Power was fully restored in Great Harbor Key in the Berry Islands by yesterday afternoon, while South Andros Mangrove Key also lost electricity. Several outages reported on Eleuthera. Exuma restoration of communities across the island was still ongoing as of late yesterday. Meanwhile, with Grand Bahama Power Company said restoration efforts were underway, advising that crews were working in the Beachway, Manton, Camden, Williamstown, and Seagrape areas. BGC said there were reports of downed utility poles and power lines affecting customers in North Bahamia, Regency Park, Rumkey Drive, Xanadu Circle, West End, and other areas. Prime Minister Philip Davis says that he's disappointed that public health care nurses across the country called in sick in recent days over issues with overtime. He was speaking outside PLP headquarters yesterday, saying, quote, "It's disappointing when I think what this government, this administration, and me in particular have done." He said his government recognizes the value of nurses and the sacrifices they make, saying, quote, "We are under siege from other jurisdictions to lure them away from their home. We've been doing our best to ensure that they are properly compensated. If they look at where they were when I came in office and where they are now, that should tell them how I feel about them." Davis says the issue of overtime only came to his attention recently, and within that time he made the arrangements to pay them, but he said it was unfortunate that the nurses reacted the way they did and said they should trust in him and his administration. Well, up to yesterday, nurses were still calling in sick at the Princess Margaret Hospital. The issues of nurses' overtime pay boiled over last week after the Public Hospitals Authority issued an internal memo advising that all overtime payments effective the January 2026 pay period required approval from the managing director's office before it could be processed and approved. Well, processed. Investigations continue into that industrial accident that left a 51-year-old dead on Thursday. Police say the man was operating an excavator at the construction site off Tonic Williams-Darling Highway around 6 p.m. when a portion of the hillside collapsed and both he and the machine were buried beneath the rubble. A girl who was raped by her grandfather is now fearful of men, a Supreme Court judge heard on Friday. Probation officer Dia Duvalier making the disclosure while testifying at the penalty phase of the trial of a 63-year-old convict who's been identified by the initials EF. He pleaded guilty to one count of incest in August 2025 when he appeared before Justice Renee McKay. The incident happened at the convict's New Providence home on September 10, 2024. Duvalier telling the court that the now 11-year-old girl told her that the incident made her feel very sad. The victim's mother said that since the incident, her daughter has become withdrawn and fearful of men. While his daughter said that she forgave him, she said that she had to be taken off the street. The convict's 13-year-old grandson told the probation officer that granddaddy ruined their lives. And the Progressive Liberal Party ratifying the final 13 candidates for the general election. The National Guardian understands that party officials met on Saturday to finalize who would be ratified by the candidates committee the following day. The only decision left would be who's going to be ratified for Southern Shores. Clint Watson, general manager of ZNS, or Obi Roberts, PLP deputy chairman and son of former PLP giant, the late Bradley Roberts. That was Saturday. Well, as of Sunday, the party chose Obi Roberts. The remaining "12 candidates include Robin Lyons for Killarney, Randy Roll for Bimini and the Barry Islands, Renika Knowles for Long Island, Kingsley Smith for West Grand Bahama, Park O'Deal for Central Grand Bahama, Monique Pratt, East Grand Bahama, Ginger Moxie, Pine Ridge, Eddie Wan for Marco City, Keno Wong for St. Anne's, Glennis Hannah Martin, Engliston, Chester Cooper for Exuma, Ragged Island and Philip Davis, of course, for Cat Island, Rumkey, and San Salvador. Overseas, Gaza's Rafah border crossing with Egypt reopened Monday for limited traffic, a key step in the Israel-Hamas ceasefire, but a mostly symbolic development on the ground, as few people will be allowed to travel in either direction and no goods will pass through it. Within the first few hours of the opening, no one was seen crossing in or out of Gaza. An Egyptian official said 50 Palestinians were expected to cross in each direction of the first day of Rafah's opening. About 20,000 Palestinian children and adults needing medical care hope to leave the devastated Gaza via the crossing. Thousands of other Palestinians outside the territory hope to return home soon. State-run Egyptian media and Israeli security officials confirming the reopening. Before the war, Rafah was the main crossing for people moving in and out of Gaza. The territory's handful of other crossings all are shared with Israel. Under the terms of the ceasefire, which went into effect in October, Israel's military controls the area between the Rafah crossing and the zone where most Palestinians live. And U.S. President Donald Trump says the United States was beginning to talk with Cuban leaders as his administration puts greater pressure on the communist-run island and cuts off key oil supplies. He made the comment to reporters Saturday night as he was flying to Florida. It comes in the wake of his moves in recent weeks to cut off supplies of oil from Venezuela and Mexico, which he suggested Saturday would force Cuba to the negotiating table. His goals with Cuba remain clear, but Trump has turned more of his attention unclear. Trump has turned more of his attention towards the island after his administration in early January captured Venezuela's then-president Nicolas Maduro and has been more aggressive in confronting nations that are adversaries to the U.S. Trump has predicted that the Cuban government is ready to fall. And Beijing today criticizing the Dalai Lama's first Grammy win, describing the Music Industry Award for an audiobook, narration, and storytelling as, quote, a tool for anti-China political manipulation. The Tibetan Buddhist spiritual leader who lives in exile in India took the award on Sunday for his book, Meditations, the Reflections of His Holiness the Dalai Lama. He said in a statement on his website that he saw the award as a, quote, recognition of our shared universal responsibility, saying, I receive this recognition with gratitude and humility. Well, China's foreign ministry spokesperson saying, quote, it is well known that the 14th Dalai Lama is not merely a religious figure, but a political exile engaged in anti-China separatist activities under the guise of religion. We firmly oppose the relevant party using the award as a tool for anti-China political manipulation. The Dalai Lama, who is seen by many as the face of Tibet's struggle for autonomy, has lived in exile since 1959 when Chinese troops crushed an uprising in the Tibetan capital. China, which governs Tibet as an autonomous region, has been accused of trying to stamp out the Tibetan language, culture, and identity. And in sports, Shauna Miller-Weibo continues to make an impression in her comeback campaign, blazing to a world-leading time of 35.79 seconds in the women's 300 meters at the Bob Pollock Invitational at Clemson Indoor Track and Field Complex in South Carolina Saturday. The Bahamian track and field legend, who has won at every level in her athletics career, was unchallenged in recording the smooth and sensational victory. It's the third fastest time in her career and the ninth fastest in the history of the event, according to World Athletics' top performance lists. Read more on that in today's Guardian Sports section. And it wasn't easy, but junior athletes braved the tough weather conditions over the weekend to earn victories at the 6th annual Sonia Knowles Red Line Athletics Track and Field Classic at the original Thomas A. Robinson Track and Field Stadium. We've got all the winners in today's Guardian Sports section. And condolences continue to pour in for fallen national volleyball team player Jamal Ferguson. His friends and fellow athletes remembering over the weekend as someone who represented the country locally and internationally on a number of occasions. The 38-year-old Ferguson was found dead with multiple stab wounds inside his home on Wednesday. Ferguson had just represented the country at the CAZOVA, the Caribbean Zonal Volleyball Association Senior Volleyball Championships in Nassau, helping the country secure a silver medal in the regional tournament. They lost to Curacao in straight sets in the gold medal match. More on his contributions to the team in today's Guardian Sports section. From the NBA, Paul George of the Philadelphia 76ers suspended 25 games for violating the terms of the NBA's anti-drug program. The NBA did not disclose over the weekend the nature of the violation or the substance that was involved, and George released a statement to ESPN saying he took something that was improper. His statement saying that he has discussed the importance of mental health, and in the course of seeking treatment for an issue, he made the mistake of taking an improper medication. He said he apologized to the team and its fans, saying that he took full responsibility for his actions. That 25-game suspension by terms of the agreement between the NBA and the Players Association indicate that it was a first violation by George. He will begin serving the suspension when he began on Saturday in Philadelphia. He will begin on Saturday when the team hosts New Orleans. And Carlos Alcaraz is 22. He is the youngest man ever to win all 4 of the major titles in tennis now, and he had to achieve that by completing his career Grand Slam in Australia. The top-ranked Alcaraz dropped the first set of the Australian Open in 33 minutes Sunday as Novak Djokovic went out hard in pursuit of an unprecedented 25th major title. For the young Spaniard dug deep to win 2-6, 6-2, 6-3, 7-5, saying that it was a dream come true. Again, the youngest man ever to complete the career Grand Slam. That's sports, and that's the overnight. Time for your first look at weather. Your first look at weather brought to you by Star General. So we've got high pressure and a cool, dry air mass is going to remain in place across the islands throughout today through tonight, supporting cool daytime and overnight temperatures and very low rain chances. Meanwhile, a tight pressure gradient across the area will maintain fresh to strong breezes and hazardous marine conditions throughout the day today. So daytime high temperatures are only expected to reach the upper 50s to low 60s in the northern Bahamas today. And the residents are encouraged to take precautions for themselves, pets, the elderly, and small children. Dress in warm, layered clothing and ensure children are properly protected from the cool temperatures. Will be a little bit warmer here in the northwest Bahamas and, of course, the central and southeast Bahamas. More on the temperatures in just a bit. For today, though, there is a high risk of dangerous, life-threatening rip currents and rough surf along all windward and Atlantic shorelines. And overtopping waves and sea spray may cause coastal flooding along northern and western roadways. So your forecast for today, again for the northern islands, Abaco, Grand Bahama, Bimini, look for a mix of sun and clouds this morning, becoming partly sunny to sunny by afternoon and variably cloudy overnight. A 10% chance of a brief passing shower. Winds northwesterly at 15 to 20 knots today with higher gusts. The temperatures, again, highs in the upper 50s or low 60s, only about 60, 61 Fahrenheit maybe, 15, 16 Celsius. Overnight lows back down into the 50s tonight, the mid-50s, around 14, 15 Celsius. Again, a little bit warmer for us in the northwest Bahamas, including Providence and Eleuthera and Andros. We're looking at partly sunny conditions, becoming variably cloudy overnight. Again, only about a 10% chance of a brief passing shower. Winds northwest to north at 15 to 20 knots with higher gusts today. Highs in the low to mid-60s, around 17, 18 Celsius. Overnight lows tonight get down into the 50s, though. The upper 50s, mid to upper 50s, and the low 60s. So between about 13 to 16 Celsius. Still going to be a very cool night tonight. For the central and southeast Bahamas, central islands looking for partly cloudy conditions today, becoming variably cloudy tonight. Pretty much the same for the southeastern islands, only about a 10% chance of passing showers. Winds northwest to north at 15 to 20 knots with higher gusts today. The temperatures, that's what's going to be the differentiating factor here. So for the central islands, look for highs in the mid to upper 60s. Around 19, 20 Celsius, and lows around 60 to 63 Fahrenheit, about 16 to 17 Celsius. A bit warmer for you in the southeast Bahamas. Highs in the low to mid 70s, around 23, 24 Celsius, and overnight lows in the mid to upper 60s, so around 18, 19 Celsius. That's your first look at weather this morning. How much longer will this cool weather stick around? We'll tell you coming up in a bit. This weather check brought to you by Star General. Insurance made simple.
Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day.
It is time for a break, but when we come back, we are discussing the day's top stories right here on Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9, your home for fresh news and smart talk all day.
Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day.
Reliable and impactful printing services, look no further. Let Printmasters bring your masterpiece to life. We stand by our quality products that is second to none. Our affordable pricing and friendly, efficient staff makes Printmasters the ultimate choice for all your printing needs. We can deliver any type of printing services, from banners to booklets to business cards. You name it, we can print it.
Let Printmasters bring your masterpiece to life.
Located in the Nassau Guardian Building, telephone 302-2361.
Looking to elevate your gadget game, or are tech troubles simply slowing you down? Escape to a world of innovation at Custom Computers, your go-to store for the latest cutting-edge tech. Whether you need to upgrade your life with the best from Apple and Windows, or your device needs a little TLC, the Custom Computers Know-How Store is the destination for unbeatable expertise and quality repairs. With 2 convenient locations, there's a Custom Computers near you on Patton Street in Palmdale and Caves Village, or call 396-1100.
Wake up, it's a new day.
Southwest Plaza has so many stores, I've been trying to find a sensible way to list them all. There's CBS Bahamas, the Ashai Institute, BENC Snack World, Bamboo Shack Bahamas, there the Athlete's Bud and BTC, Games and More, John Bull Fine Threads, Alive, Bahari, Dairy Queen, 700 Wines and Spirits, Sandy's Clocks and Island Lock, Starbucks and Lowe's Pharmacy, plus Marco's Pizza and Lorraine. Southwest Plaza, what a wide array of stores. Southwest Plaza, stop by today and explore.
Every day in a busy world, we have to do so much. Bank with CIBC and get that personal touch. Share your ambitions, let us help your dreams come true. At CIBC, you're at the heart of all we do. We're on your side, we're listening, we know the way you feel. CIBC, ambitions made real.
Miami Gardens presents JITG Music Fest. Janae Aiko, Ludacris, Ashanti, Nelly, Glorilla, LMA, Maya, Joe, D-Nice and Friends, featuring WV, Donnell Jones, Case, Sunshine Anderson and Kenny Burns, Isley Brothers, El DeBarge, Stephanie Mills, and so many more. March 7th and 8th, Hard Rock Stadium. Tickets and info at jazzinthegardens.com. Jazzinthegardens.com.
No one likes a fender bender.
Oh, man.
From a little scratch to a full mashup, NUA Insurance has got you covered with auto insurance tailored to fit your needs and budget. For affordable rates with free on-site accident assistance, visit us online or in branch and just ask us. NUA Insurance. Ask us because we've got you covered.
Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day. It's the start of a new way. Don't you know that it's the start of the end of the old way. Wake up, it's a new day.
We are back with Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9. We're streaming live on GuardianTalkRadio.com and on the Guardian Radio app for smart devices. We're also on your televisions on Cable Bahamas Channel 969 and BTC Flow Channel 612. You can tweet us at MorningBlend969 or Facebook.com/MorningBlend969. Text us 422-4796. Standard text rate supply. Once again, I'm Dwight Strachan. In a moment, Andrew Cartwright will be joining us. Also this morning, we're talking about the Super Bowl. That's in a week to go now, and Nassau Cruiseport has some exciting options for you for Super Bowl Sunday. They'll tell us all about that this morning. Later in business, we are winding down our special series we've been doing with the Department of Public Health. And there have been a lot, as you heard, a lot of exciting things have been happening with them. We're going to get into it with them this morning about changes that have been put in place over the past year or so and others that are on the way with healthcare and the approach to healthcare in the country. So we're going to get to that this morning. That's all ahead. But right now, let's talk about what else is in the news. And in the news, how you liking the weather? How are you liking this weather? Somebody's send me a message. You're reading this weather report as if you like this cold. It's freezing. Well, Not quite freezing, but it is very, very, for Bahamians, absolutely very cold. I think for a lot of people, very cold, especially yesterday. And even when the sun is out, right? It's been cold in the sun. I mean, unless you're up north, you rarely see that around here, but that's how it's been. Let's talk about it. How did you find these past couple of days? We got maybe a couple more of them ahead, not as cold as it got over the weekend. But let's hear from you. What was that like? Don't you think you'll be craving more of this when we get to July, August, September, the hottest months of the year? And you won't say you wish. What? My producer's saying no? No? It's only like 1 or 2 weeks of the whole year we get it. You really rather be sweating it out. Okay, let's hear from you. I think 2 weeks of it is pretty fine. I can deal with that. Maybe a month. But 323-6232, 325-4316, 325-4259. Call us toll free, 242-300-5720. But remember this, folks. Remember this. This is a lesson from January 2026. Farewell to January. It's already February. Remember this, that don't ever doubt it. It doesn't matter if it's the coldest day of the year, the hottest day of the year, the rainiest, hurricaniest day of the year, Christmas, summer, a public holiday, no matter what, your power will go off. That's how it is. That's how it is in this country. Never forget. And we're learning that this is deeper than we ever thought it was going to be, and this is partly because we still don't know the full details of this arrangement with Pike and Island Grid, Bahamas Grid. What's really going on? Power struggle erupts at BPL. And Bahamas Grid posting something and quickly deleting it that has caused many to wonder now what in God's name is going on. What's going on? I'm sure the people all over the country are wondering what's going on after the weekend. Outages reported in many parts of the country. New Providence, it seems that was island-wide. And I don't know about you all, but for me, it was okay. The power went off because normally it's in the heart of the summer and you start to melt. But it was comfortable, and so that wasn't the issue. The problem was that the power kept going on and off. I don't know if that was across the whole island, but it kept coming off, and all the appliances and electronics started to freak out. And that was the bigger problem. Like, something is very wrong, and we don't know what's going on. So we got a lot to talk about. We'll get to the power issue, the struggle at BPL in a bit. But let's hear from you and get to some of your messages before we move on to that. What say you? You liking this weather, caller?
Morning, Dwight.
Good morning.
How are you?
I'm doing well. Are you staying warm?
Listen, Dwight, I spent a number of years in cold weather. So when people in Bahamas you talk about it's cold, it's going to get to 60 and so on, I had to laugh, because I said, they should be glad. They should be happy to have a cool summer. That's what I call it at 60s. But, Dwight, this particular one, anytime you can turn your water tap on when your hand freezes, that means that the weather is genuinely cold. Not too cold for me, I must say. Right? But this is what I really consider. I thought being cold better. Okay? When the regular water in the tap turn your hand and feel like ice, it's cold. Okay? But I love it. I love it, Dwight.
Okay.
I hope you can have a couple more weeks of this.
Wow. Well, I don't know if most people can take that, but at least 1 week would be good. At least one more week. Thanks a lot. Yeah. My producer, he's shaking his head. He says he can't do it. My mom says she can't take it. Everybody's saying they can't take it. But
everybody just needs to buy a small portable warmer.
No.
That's all.
No. I don't think that's a good idea. The fire department can't handle what we have going on right now. But I hear you. Thanks a lot for the call. So it got really cold. The coldest, I think the wind chill in New Providence made it feel like it was in the 40s. And it was colder for Grand Bahama and Abaco. So that's saying a lot. It really is. One more call on this, and we'll get to the issues with BPL. Caller, good morning. You're live.
Hey, Dwight.
Hi.
Sorry, it's me again.
Okay.
Well, I thought that electricity only goes up during like bad weather storm and all that.
It doesn't matter.
Something to do with it.
Sunny days, non-sunny days, clouds, whatever.
We can't take much, buddy.
Yeah, it seems so.
All right, buddy. Have a good day.
Thanks a lot. That's what I'm telling you. Remember that. It doesn't matter what it is. It's too windy, not windy enough, too hot, too cold, too in between, too perfect. Everything. Yeah. So here's the story. This is very concerning. Power struggle erupts at BPL. Arcandia Dame's writing about it. A social media post by Bahamas Grid Company, BGC, on Sunday during the New Providence blackout and conversations with multiple individuals close to matters involving BGC and Bahamas Power and Light, BPL, reveal an intensifying power struggle brewing between the two entities. BGC deleted the post in which it appeared to distance itself from blame associated with the island-wide power outage. The post had already been shared extensively by the time it deleted it. But the company was created by the U.S.-based Pike Corporation and the Bahamas government to control the transmission and distribution network on New Providence. So BGC informed that all of its crews were in the field working to restore power to all of the island. This was Sunday. But it said, quote, as for your question on restoration timing and why the power went out so extensively, like many of you, we are also trying to find out more information from BPL right now. Unfortunately, for reasons unknown to BGC, the BGC team has been denied access to New Providence Control Center by BPL management since last week, January 27th, apparently, despite it being BGC's contractual right to jointly manage in the control center. Well, we wouldn't know about that, right? We don't know anything about it. As a result, only BPL was in the control center Saturday night to be able to try to assess and mitigate the outage effects in New Providence. Our hope is that by getting more information from BPL right now, we can shorten the duration of this outage and also assist in the prevention of major disasters in the future, as was the intent of the public-private partnership. Well, BPL would not directly confirm nor deny BGC's claim that it was denied access to the control center, with BPL's communications director Theo Seeley saying, quote, Bahamas Power and Light continues to work hand in hand with Bahamas Grid Company as we both aim to better service the consumers in New Providence, even in the face of an island-wide blackout, which occurred in the early morning hours of Sunday, February 1st, 2026. So BPL said in a statement at 9:28 a.m. that preliminary indicators suggest that the severe weather disturbance impacted our grid, triggering system protection mechanisms, which triggered an overall system shutdown. We can transparently share with consumers that the outage was not as a result of mechanical failure. Okay. Okay, sure. The company said New Providence began experiencing issues shortly after 11 p.m. Saturday and that the severe winds were the cause of multiple areas tripping offline. It said the island-wide blackout occurred around 1 a.m. In its initial updates on the power cut in New Providence, BPL made no mention of BGC. But in an update that came Sunday afternoon after the BGC post was created and deleted, BPL advised that emergency response teams, in tandem with Bahamas Grid Company, were responding to calls in an effort to fully restore power supply to New Providence consumers. One observer familiar with matters related to BPL said, quote, they are trying to smooth things over and give the impression that they are aligned. They do need to be aligned to fully resolve all issues, but clearly there is infighting. Well, so again, this is widespread, not just New Providence. Bimini, the Berry Islands, South Andros, Mangrove Key, Exuma, Long Island, Eleuthera, and Abaco all experienced disruptions in power supply as a result of infrastructure being impacted by high wind speeds. BPL confirming that. Again, BGC is not responsible for the network on those islands, though, only for New Providence. Its post regarding the New Providence outage raised eyebrows and questions about the specific arrangements between BPL and BGC, which we still, as a public, have not been able to see. Still, after being told, it's now years, we've been told we would see this. Years. The NASA Guardian understands that the two entities have faced tensions ever since the Davis administration entered its agreement with Pike to take over T&D system, the T&D system on New Providence. Despite numerous calls from the media, the opposition, civil society organizations, and some members of the public, and despite pledging to do so, the government never, ever made the deal public. Still haven't done it. The public has been given bits and pieces of information regarding the arrangements with Pike. In 2024, the government announced plans to enter into a 25-year agreement with the U.S. entity through its Bahamian subsidy or Bahamian company Island Grid Solutions to oversee the upgrade and management of the T&D network. Energy Minister Jo Beth Colby Davis explained in Parliament in June 2024 that BPL will contribute the book value of its New Providence T&D assets, valued at $100 million, in exchange for 40% of the shares in the special purpose vehicle, Bahamas Grid, and that Island Grid, as the T&D manager, will raise and contribute through private investors $130 million to the special purpose vehicle in exchange for 60% of shares. She said that instead of an expensive upfront cost for the logistics, management, and labor of the initial offering and ordering and installation of the initial $130 million of infrastructure, the government agreed to a management fee. Okay. You remember they had said that they were going to be seconding employees to come and work, but last year, right on this show, they said that no BPL employee agreed to be seconded. The unspecified arrangements between Pike and the government have left many BPL staffers apparently confused as to who's responsible for what at BPL, and BGC has since taken control of BPL bucket trucks and other equipment, according to information reaching the Nassau Guardian. Following the initiation of the deal with Pike, many BPL employees have since been reassigned to other areas of BPL. There are concerns in some quarters that the clearly existing tensions between the entities will eventually come to a head, and the Bahamian people who up to this point have largely been kept in the dark, well, yes, indeed, regarding these arrangements will be left holding the bag. Probably in the dark. I added that part there. Just after 8 o'clock Sunday night, BPL said its teams were still out assessing or working to bring remaining New Providence consumers back online. Oh, my. Okay. Wow. Let's get your reaction to all of that, folks. That's very concerning. Again, that statement from Bahamas Grid. We're really feeling like we're left in the dark now, right? After all these promises, we still don't really know what's what, and apparently a lot of people working at BPL don't know either. Let's hear from you. 323-632-325-4316. 325-4259. Call us toll free, 242-300-5720. Why would they have been kept out of the control center? What was that about? And since late January, what is going on? Let's hear from you, caller. Do you have any idea? Do you have what do you feel about it? How do you think? What do you think about this whole situation? Good morning.
Good morning, Dwight.
Hi.
My concern to see if this is a trend developing here, and I want to remember this phrase I'm going to say to you: kill switch. All right. Normally, when there's a contract between a vendor, supplier, whoever, if you don't make your payments, I have a kill switch. And I am just concerned whether we're looking at a trend here where monies are not being paid or that's owed because, governments, and I'm not speaking about this government alone, have a tendency to go into contractual arrangement without dotting all the I's and crossing all the T's. And that's why they can't be public with it, because the contracts may not have been even finalized yet to the point where it's sufficient to run. But, I've seen the Pike trucks coming around asking me, which is a good thing, do you have any issues?
Well,
that's a good thing.
Mm-hmm.
But what is frightening...
Well, we got all the trucks here. You notice that it's very concerning. It's BPL, it's Pike. I still see BEC. It's Bahamas Grid. Every single truck has a different label on it. What's that all about?
Well, it's the contract has not been properly written, in my opinion, because we failed to be able to negotiate a wholesome contract. And it is possible to share the lines by two power companies. That's possible to do. It just has to be properly regulated. So I have no idea as what's going on, but what frightens me most globally when you buy an aircraft, Dwight, the parts manufactured in X, Y, Z, and somebody has a kill switch when you don't make payments. Think about it globally.
Okay.
Right.
Well, I hear you. Well, I mean, if you have limited access to the control room, the control center, I don't know if you would have that, but maybe it'll be more like a suicide switch that BPL does. Cause,
I would hope it's not a suicide.
I mean,
switch,
that's what
Dwight.
they see.
But the thing about it is, y'all only call like 2 names because there are other subcontractors as well involved in this process too.
For New Providence?
Again, like y'all have said, I was listening on my way in. We still don't know the details. It's been quite some time. I just wonder why. But examples like this show us exactly why, and I wonder if that's why the folks went online and be like, "Hey, not our issue."
Well, you know, they're not bound by the ridiculous rules of Bahamian business culture, right? Where people like won't put all the business out on the street. They will throw you under the bus if right?
It's called reputational
Hey,
risk.
I don't blame them. I don't blame them.
But that's how proper
Because
companies operate.
this is exactly, I'm sure, how people would have tried to spin that and say, oh, this new company coming here, now look at this. Nope. They're saying, nope, not us. We don't know why. We don't know how. So look at them. Look at the usual suspects.
Listen, they were probably advised.
Oh, boy. But delete it. Why did you delete it? Leave it right there so everyone can see. I have a copy of it. Should I post it? I don't know. I mean,
I think everybody has a copy.
Yeah,
of it
everybody. Just never forget. Never forget.
I saw that. I was like, my goodness. Okay, are we being petty?
What is this? What is this? Right?
Again, it's reputational risk because if they are, again, subcontracting for the provision of services, whichever one that may be, right? T&D or whatever they're calling it now, they are trying to service other potential clients. So this is, they can't be seen that they're not doing their job. Come on now.
Yeah. Let's take another call. Good morning, caller. You're on the air.
Morning, Dwight.
Hi,
morning,
good morning.
Deandra.
Good morning. Good morning.
Yeah, Dwight, what happened? The blanket didn't work. So what we had to do, we had to go and take out the quilt. You know them quilts in the clear plastic?
Yes.
We had to go with the quilts. Yeah, that's the way the blanket sandwich, where the blanket wasn't even working.
Oh, boy.
And like you say, I ain't no heat, no heater, because this cause fire.
Yeah.
So,
Let's not do that. Let's not do that. Uh-huh.
Yeah. But I asked Chihuahua Line the other day, with the government taking over the power company over there, it's a bad thing. You can see from this weekend, it will be a bad thing. That's what I'm saying.
No. I mean, they had issues in Grand Bahama, too. They had many issues. Grand Bahama, Seattle's messaging me and telling me his power was off. It's right in the article in the paper today. It says so many parts.
So,
but it won't be a difference. That's the thing. It'll be like, hey, old friends. Nothing's
that's
changed.
What I'm saying. That's kind of good. I just all the old islands.
But it won't be worse.
Yeah, because we having problem with the old islands current. Sumani, Lutra here was off from a see what will be Cricket Island and all of them and all of that, man. So yeah, man, they ain't ready. They joking, man. They joking.
Well,
they ain't saying nothing. The opposition keep asking them to put the stuff on the table with pipe and all of that. We don't know what's going on, so we can't even say.
Yeah.
And another thing, Dwight, before I go, that's good for Clint Watson, right? That's good for him, man.
Oh, dear.
Yeah, man, go back to Zedness to spread propaganda, man.
Oh, my.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah, man, go back. Yeah.
That's not nice.
Bobby Roberts would have turned over in his grave if Obi didn't get that thing like that. You know, you guess a newcomer just come. You know, Obi Roberts was spreading propaganda for them for a little while. So yeah, man, Clint, you didn't give up your show to Howard, so that's good. Go back, go be the press secretary, or go spread propaganda for the VLP to Zedness.
Well,
y'all have a good day.
It's a lot of negativity. Oh, my. Wow, okay. Didn't see that part coming there. But, hey, if we have time, we'll get to that, the ratifications. I mean, people are very excited about these on both sides, right? But, I mean, again, 3 years, you're mad with whoever they send. So this is a truly abusive, toxic relationship.
But we continue to engage.
Some of us.
As a people, the majority represents all of us.
I don't know if it's a majority. Do you think people work up and get all excited and like, I can't wait to see going down there to headquarters?
No, not that part.
No.
Not that part. I think that's more like party-centric.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Like, the majority of people just don't care.
No, when it comes to Again, do we have? Didn't they do data analytics on the attendance at rallies the last time? I wonder. I feel like there was something done, so we could see exactly like how many persons show up.
That doesn't mean anything either. That's how many people show up to have a good time, party, and listen to music and dance and see people dance.
Because then you could compare that versus the turnout. Because the turnout is what we know, but it's also about the performative aspect of it. And so many aspects are performative.
Well, 5 years ago, maybe 4 was it? Right? When we were going through these exercises, all these people promised that we wouldn't be having power outages and stuff, and here we are still.
Broken promises. Broken records.
The pictures of who's ratified for all these parties means diddly squat when we are still facing the issues that we were facing 10 years ago. So let's
15
focus.
years ago.
I was trying to be nice.
No, I'm not going to be nice. Because we're talking about power outages on this island, and my island has power outages on the regular. Goes without water.
Day.
That's what I'm saying. I'm
every
like, this
day.
is ridiculous. They're cycling my settlements at the moment. You know, I'm like, I don't. How can we expect Bahamians to feel cherished as Bahamians when this is their daily reality? I'm not sure if we're taking this as seriously as we could, but the reality is that you have Bahamians in this country that go without power or who are paying their bills, but go without power, go without water on a regular basis. Yeah. How is this acceptable?
But if you want to go pile up at headquarters and dance around it, that's on you. It's great. Have fun. Caller, good morning. You're on the air.
And Dwight, good morning, DeAndre.
Hi, good morning.
A very interesting couple of days. I can surely say, putting a positive spin on it, at least the two entities are now experiencing this test in real time to see that the work that has already been done, is it still going up to scratch to solve our power situation here on the island, as well as many of our other islands. In fact, if you really look across the USC board, we'll also find that many of their states actually went offline too because of this weather. So that little caveat, I'll give them. The biggest thing that we need to be concerned about is this apparent debacle between, well, I wouldn't say debacle, but, you know, this situation between where it appears that there is tension between the two sides. And still the Bahamian people, as you so rightfully said, we still don't even know the true terms and conditions of the deal that was cut. The Bahamian people then are going to be at the bring the consequences or lack thereof for the actions that have already been taken or not been taken, but yet we're still being kept, and I'm literally putting it like this, in the dark. Mm-hmm. When are we going to be privy to these deals that was cut in full, not in part, not in snippets, but in full? You know, we are still being treated as if we are illiterate, as if we can't understand. If you put or table the deal in full to us, that we can dissect it and understand the full underpinnings of what the deals are all about. But this is what we bargained for. This is the people that we put in power over us. And it's going to be we, the people, that's going to determine whether we want to keep them or whether we want to take care of them because they're not transparent with the Bahamian people. That's all I'm going to say this morning. Thanks for taking my call. I'll continue to listen.
Okay, thank you very much. Appreciate it. A couple more calls, and then we want to get to your text messages. A lot of great text messages this morning. Caller, good morning. You're live.
Hey, Dwight and Deandra. How you doing? I got a quiz for y'all.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Under the PLP administration, how would the Bahamas fare differently than the Titanic? The Titanic still had its lights on when it sunk.
Wow. Wow. Now, how certain are you of that? That the lights were on when it's...
Again?
How certain are you that the lights were on?
Dwight, they just had a study on that.
It's been reported by the cruise ships who came for the rescue, who responded. And the rest of the Caribbean will see us as we saw. Dwight, you and I, first of all, let me say, there is no agreement with Pike, okay? Just please. If there was an agreement, there wouldn't be a dispute as to where control is. Mm-hmm. Okay, there is something not adding up in this. Okay, Pike is not an amateur. Come by night. Just look at even they were just acquired and the volume, the money they acquired for. It tells you that they don't play. They have reputational damage to maintain on such a small economy like the Bahamas.
Mm-hmm.
we need a whole new system. I know Pike is patching the system, but Dwight, you and I, from the day your show started, from the show that I've been talking about this, the need to upgrade our energy structure.
Yeah. All right, we're running out of time, but really quickly.
No, we're running out of time. Just say this, Dwight.
Yeah,
we are now 140 years from the first time electricity was introduced to the world, right? Mm-hmm. And AI is now doubling the use of electricity and energy consumption. So we were already behind. So what we need is to have a conversation, a show on this, Dwight. And let me say something, Dwight. I can assure you, after the next election, if the PLP is gone, you will see reduction in electricity. And I challenge you me to explain it before the next.
I won't hold my breath, but I want to ask you about Grand Bahama.
No.
I want to ask you about Grand Bahama. How bad did it get over the weekend? You all had power outages.
I did 12. I know when I woke up, the light was off, and 12 hours later, a little over 12 hours later, I got my energy back.
Oh, God.
So for the rest, I literally, this was my break where I was playing with the kids, so we went outside, do everything, right? I mean, no, this was midday, in the daytime, but in the morning time, we went outside, do everything for 4 to 5 hours. Yeah. But when I woke up, it was still off. So I know for sure, based on what my computer told me, 12 hours and 40 minutes.
So GBPC needs this overhaul as well, like that you're talking about,
no,
right?
we do. GBPC needs power generation. They need power generation because the three of their systems are gone. They have one major engine, and they're using this auxiliary backup power. So they have a generation problem. But on both across the entire Bahamas, we need a smart grid.
Yeah.
And Dwight, the money to pay for it is right now in Behemoth's pocket. I challenge you, just give me 30 minutes one day in the next month.
Okay. All right.
Thanks.
We'll talk. Let's take this call really quickly. Caller, good morning. You're live on the air.
Good morning, sir.
Hi, good morning.
Bahama Grid, BEC, and Pike. We clashing because what's happening in the electrical system is that you have a company came in and you have the people that were working there for years. They taking the linesmen and letting them read meter. You're taking the groundsman who the underground cable man them, and you letting them read meter. You move all the senior people, people who know about the whole grid, the whole system, and you move them, and they don't even work in the same place no more. How is that supposed to be? You have senior people who know.
Are you with BPL? Are you with BPL?
Something like that. But
I mean, are we 100% certain that is what's happening? Because that's pretty serious.
That's what's happening. You moving senior people and letting them read meter. You letting the linesman read meter. You have the whole structure break rate up. They don't want to tell you all the truth. The government is destroying BEC. Trust me on that. Y'all ain't seen nothing yet.
Okay.
Y'all can see what's happening in the next couple of days. Well, hey, y'all just got to pray. The PLP got to pray that they win again so they can keep everything on a hush hush.
Wow.
The electrical company is in trouble.
All right, we got to go to the news. My God. All right, we got... wow, we'll get to that after the break. Grammy winners all morning long. We're going to be talking about that as well. Stay with us. Welcome back to Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9. We are streaming live on GuardianTalkRadio.com and on the Guardian Radio app for smart devices. We're also on your televisions on Cable Bahamas Channel 969 and BTC Flow Channel 612. You can tweet us at Morning Blend 969 or Facebook.com/Morning Blend 969. Text us 4224796. And now at 8:20, it's time for another check of your weather for today, brought to you by Sherwin-Williams. So we've got high pressure and a cool, dry air mass that's going to remain in place across the country through tonight, supporting cool daytime and overnight temperatures and very low rain chances. Meanwhile, a tight pressure gradient across the country will maintain fresh to strong breezes and hazardous marine conditions throughout the day. So that high pressure center located north of the Bahamas will shift eastwards Tuesday through Wednesday, increasing the likelihood of some passing showers as low-level moisture from the Atlantic moves across the area. By Thursday evening, another cold front is expected to move into the northern Bahamas. That's going to bring increased shower activity. And around the same time, prefrontal troughing across the southeast Bahamas will also generate some shower activity and the possibility of isolated thunderstorms. That new front is expected to move out of the area by late Friday into early Saturday, with high pressure building behind it. In the meantime, for today, and for residents in the extreme northern islands like Bimini and Grand Bahama and Abaco, daytime high temperatures are expected to only reach the upper 50s and low 60s. And everyone's being advised to take precautions for themselves and dress warmly with layered clothing and ensure that children and the elderly and pets are protected from the cool temperatures. We'll have more on the temperatures expected today in just a bit. But for today, there's also a high risk of dangerous, life-threatening rip currents and rough surf along all windward and Atlantic shorelines. And overtopping waves and sea spray may cause coastal flooding along northern and western roadways. So your forecast for today, a mix of sun and clouds this morning, becoming partly sunny to sunny by the afternoon, and variably cloudy tonight for the extreme northern islands. Again, high temperatures for those islands only in the upper 50s. You may top out at about 61 Fahrenheit, maybe. So that's between 15 and 16 Celsius. Overnight lows tonight in the low to mid 50s, about 12 to 14 Celsius. For the rest of the northwest Bahamas and the central Bahamas today, look for partly sunny conditions, becoming variably cloudy by tonight. Partly cloudy for the southeastern islands. Only about a 10% chance of passing showers. High temperatures, it depends on where you are. So for the rest of us in the northwest Bahamas, look for highs in the low to mid 60s, around 17, 18, 19 Celsius. Overnight lows tonight in the upper 50s, around 14, 15 Celsius. For the central islands, highs in the low to mid 60s and around 18, 19 Celsius. Overnight lows tonight around 60 or maybe a little warmer. 16 Celsius, 17 Celsius. Bit warmer for you in the southeast Bahamas, highs in the low to mid 70s, lows in the mid to upper 60s. In your extended outlook for tomorrow, Tuesday, partly cloudy to cloudy with periods of overcast skies. Low chance for rain in the northern islands, but slightly elevated for the rest of the country. We're still looking at high temperatures in the mid to upper 60s for the extreme northern islands, closer to 70 for a good bit of the rest of the country. Lows in the mid to upper 50s to low 60s. And for Wednesday, a mix of sun and clouds for the northern half of the country, partly cloudy for the central and southeast Bahamas, warming up a bit. More seeing temperatures for highs in the 60s and low 70s, and minimum overnight temperatures in the low 60s and upper 50s for the northern islands. By Thursday, again, a mix of sun and clouds with cloud coverage increasing with the approach of the frontal boundary. And that's for the northern half of the country, partly cloudy to cloudy for the rest of the country. And the warm-up continues until that other cold front moves in by late Thursday. That's your morning blend weather check, brought to you by Sherwin-Williams. If you're looking to paint, your local Sherwin-Williams store has top quality paints, expert advice, and everyday discounts to help you save only at Sherwin-Williams. 8:25, time for a check of traffic brought to you by RBC. With RBC, your ideas happen here. In your real-time traffic, a number of hot spots to tell you about. We've got Milo Butler Highway, heavy traffic for you from well south of the Fire Trail roundabout straight up to Tonic Williams-Darling Highway. If you're heading northbound, you're going to see that slow-moving traffic on Gladstone Road as well, just north of Fire Trail. And picking up again, once again, a bit north of Bunnings Road on the way to the roundabout with Bahamar Boulevard, John F. Kennedy Drive. But on the John F. Kennedy Drive side, though, a number of issues. Traffic is backed up quite a bit along Lake Cunningham this morning. You'll see that slow-moving eastbound traffic to the roundabout. And on the eastern side of that, from Harold Road, Prospect Ridge, straight up to Gladstone, you're going to see that heavy traffic on the John F. Kennedy Drive side, westbound, especially near Theodore Lane. And picking up for you on the eastbound side, the closer you get to the roundabout with Prospect Ridge. So John F. Kennedy Drive not looking pretty for you this morning. Over on Blue Hill Road, heavy traffic for you from Carmichael straight up to the roundabout with Independence Drive if you're heading northbound. And Independence Drive, slow-moving traffic both directions at this hour. East Street at a number of spots, slow-moving, mainly northbound, especially north and south of the Soldier Road intersection, and even north of the roundabout with East West Highway, straight through to Robinson Road. And the other side of Robinson Road near Prince Charles, that is not looking pretty for you if you're heading westbound. All of Prince Charles Drive, the major intersection, seeing issues this morning. And Bernard Road near the schools, and Eastern Road from Fox Hill to about Johnson Road, slow-moving traffic for you. That's your real-time traffic in your morning Blend Traffic Alert, brought to you by RBC. With RBC, and also by NUA Insurance Agents and Brokers. Get a quote however it suits you. Stop by your nearest branch or get an instant motor quote online at nuainsurance.com. Quick questions or big decisions, they've got you covered.
Chicken tenders, and they're everything you've been craving. Crispy, juicy, and seasoned just right. These tenders bring the flavor from the very first bite. Dip 'em, dunk 'em, love 'em. With sauces like sweet chili, scorching hot, ranch, honey barbecue, honey mustard, and Wendy's signature sauce. Grab them as a kid's meal. Enjoy them on their own, or make it a combo that hits the spot every time. For tenders you're gonna know by name, it's gotta be Wendy's.
Looking for insurance that fits your lifestyle and your budget? At Star General Insurance, we've got you covered. Whether it's motor insurance with flexible options for third-party liability and comprehensive coverage, or commercial insurance products that protect your business, we have choices you can afford. Own a home or renting? Our home insurance products have just what you need. And for the adventurers out there, we offer marine insurance too. Visit our website or social media pages for contact information and quotes. Star General, insurance made simple.
Every day in a busy world, we have to do so much. Bank with CIBC and get that personal touch. Share your ambitions, let us help your dreams come true. At CIBC, you're at the heart of all we do. We're on your side, we're listening, we know the way you feel. CIBC, ambitions made real.
Get ready for the biggest football game of the year, Super Bowl 60. We have the best seat in the house for you. Join Star 106.5 All-Star Team live at Anthony's on Paradise Island on Super Bowl Sunday, February 8th from 2 to 6 p.m. Enjoy giant screens, delicious fun food, ice-cold Calig Bear specials, prizes and surprises non-stop. It's the place to be for Super Bowl Sunday. Anthony's on Paradise Island. Watch the Patriots take on the Seahawks.
Touchdown, Seahawks!
The Star 106.5 All-Star Team will be there to cheer you on from 2 to 6 p.m. It's the biggest Sunday of the year for the biggest game of the year, Super Bowl 60, live at Anthony's on Paradise Island. Don't miss it. This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM, streaming on GuardianTalkRadio.com and the Guardian Radio app, Nassau, Bahamas.
If this world were mine.
Hey, Roman numeral 7, babe, drop it like it's hot. If this world was mine, I'd take your dreams and make them multiply. If this world was mine, I'd take your enemies in front of God. Introduce them to that light, hit them strictly with that fire. Fire, 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 fire. Hey, Roman numeral 7, babe, drop it like it's hot. If this world was mine, I'd take your dreams and make them multiply. If this world was mine, I'd take your enemies in front of God. Introduce them to that light, hit them strictly with that fire. This a vibe, do your dance, let them watch. She a fan, he a flop, they just wanna kumbaya, nah.
This world concrete, flowers grow. All day, she only do what she know. Weekends, get it poppin' on the low. Better days coming for sure.
If it was up to me, I wouldn't give it nobody's no sympathy. I'll take away the pain, I'll give you everything. I just wanna see when, wanna see
If this world were
it
mine.
when you ride it,
do it slow.
slide.
Baby, you will stop, strike, go.
We're back with Radio 96.9. Dwight Strachan with DeAndre Cartwright playing Grammy winners all morning. So this is Luther, Record of the Year. Kendrick Lamar, again, two in a row.
Listen, catchy songs, you know. That song is actually the track for, I think, a handful of TikTok trends.
Mm-hmm.
So it literally has gone viral for several reasons. So maybe that's what they...
And a tribute to Luther Vandross. So
I don't know if the... I wonder if the younger generation have a true appreciation for the Luther Vandross.
whatever Kendrick tells them to have an appreciation for, they will do it. So producer shaking his head. Is it not true?
I want you to
That's how it
stop
is.
being like this.
That's how it is.
I want you to
But
stop.
beautiful. Okay. Coming up. Coming in a few minutes, we'll be getting Super Bowl is Sunday, Deandra.
I
hope
remember now.
I'm proud of you.
I remember now. I just need to
We'll see
figure
if
out
I'm here
where
on
I'm
Monday.
going and what I'm doing.
Well,
and
Nassau
then-
Cruiseport, it could be where you should end
I
up.
have been thinking about that, you know, and then I also want to irritate some people when they ask me if I understand football and be like, yeah, isn't it when you get the ball from one end of the field to the next? Our producer cannot catch himself.
I'm not even going to say anything.
I have told people that before.
Kick it down there, right? Yeah.
No, not just,
right.
no. They take it and then they try to get
okay.
through people.
Right.
I know it's not.
Wow.
But I'd love to see people's reaction when I say it.
Anyway,
I grew up watching football, my guy.
I don't know if they want your type of energy at the Nassau
Well,
Cruiseport,
Motto,
but
I just
we'll
say
find
it's
out
for
from
giggles. I have grew up watching football. Okay.
Them. Do you know who's in the Super Bowl? Oh dear.
See, no.
See,
I am
no,
continuing. I'm continuing the Barbie moment. Okay, this is my persona right now when
Even
it comes to
Barbie would
football.
know. Even Barbie would know.
But no, Barbie wouldn't know. Barbie would wait for Ken to tell her.
I'm sure Ken already did, but Ken would barely.
Y'all see how
Ken
bad
would
he's
barely
treating me?
know. Ken would
Y'all
barely
see
know.
this?
But anyway, we're talking with Cruiseport, Nassau Cruiseport, but what's happening on Sunday? Super Bowl. You should be there, man. Hopefully they'll tell you who's in.
No,
the
I actually, so
Super Bowl.
I literally have approached this like a sociological experiment. So I did ask somebody one time, I was like, can you explain to me, like, can you walk me through how you're going? They literally were like, you can't be serious. I am not explaining this as the game is going on.
Well, just for your information, it's the New England Patriots versus
Right.
Seattle Seahawks.
Right. And this is not the first time that matchup.
No,
Right,
this is a
see,
repeat
again, I know.
of one from 11 years ago, from
Right.
Super Bowl 49. So,
See,
will there be a similar outcome? Oh boy, we will see. We'll ask the Cruiseport folks what they think about that. And then later in the show, we're talking with the Department of Public Health about
that's
some
a
of their achievements. So a lot to get to still, but we want to continue our discussion about what's in the news, talking about the power struggle at BPL. What in God's name is going on? Bahamas Grid posting on social media, but then quickly deleting it, that they don't know what's going on either with the island-wide blackout in New Providence, because
Not
they
the post
were
and delete.
they were locked out of the control center and have been since January. But BPL says they continue to work closely with
this
Bahamas
happened in
Grid.
January, so it's like a whole month.
Well, it's been a few days. All right. So, and we've been talking about the cold weather as well. BPL says that the cold.
To look a lot like
No. The cold and the wind impacted their lines, and that's what caused a lot of the power outages all over the country over the weekend. So, okay, so we got a lot of your reaction to this. This person says here, who is responsible for this power? It appears to be a serious rift between the two power entities. Was the power deal ever revealed? You know the answer to that.
Man, we spoke about that at the beginning of the show. No, we still don't know the details.
No.
But maybe we could have more posts and deletes so we could have more details.
You think that's going to cause them to reveal? No, I don't think.
If it risks their reputation, it seems like they are.
Or you mean
go ahead.
Bahamas Grid?
Yes.
Oh, you want them to, not the government, not the people we elected,
No.
the people.
No. We've already seen that they don't want to give us the details.
But we didn't hire Bahamas Grid. We hired these folks. So if your employer is asking you to produce your work, what are you going to do? You can no, I ain't ready yet.
So here's the thing, right? We have asked, they have not delivered, and yet they continue to hold their positions, right?
So just tell Bahamas Grid to drop it off at the Guardian for us at the front desk.
Yeah, or we can wait until they have another spat.
This spat isn't resolved, it appears. So
no, that's what it appears like on the surface.
This person says here, this is back to the weather. Anyone who doesn't like this weather, tell them to think about July through September. That's what I'm saying. You wish you had even a little bit of this in August.
I will say, once as you are prepared for it, because not everybody has the clothes, the blankets, and things like that, or even the electricity for this. So yeah.
I think you need more electricity in the summer. But isn't it? Which one is it? I mean, I think it's easy to get warm in this type of cold. We don't have the snow and stuff. Than to get cool in the type of summers we have. No?
I got
unless you have the electricity and then the money. Right? It just costs more to be comfortable in the summer here than to be comfortable during a mini cold front. Well, big cold front.
Yeah.
No?
Full-fledged.
Yeah. All right, this person says that even the tourists are complaining about the cold. We'll tell them to go back home and experience that. This is far better than where they're coming from.
Need you to stop.
Far better.
I need you to stop.
By the way,
I need you to behave.
By the way, were you paying attention to the Australian Open?
Oh, I caught snippets here and there.
I'm talking about the weather. So for all the people who are talking about climate change isn't real, it is summer in Australia, but it was 120 degrees Fahrenheit for a few days early in the week. And by the men's final yesterday, it was almost as cold as it was in Nassau. Melbourne apparently is in a strange place.
Right.
But the rest of Australia was still pretty hot. But the wild swings are really something else. Really something else. From 120 to 58 in the same week is really something else.
That is great.
So
climate change is real.
It is real. This person says here, it's a bit colder than I expected, but I'm loving it. Yeah. I wonder if the Prime Minister thinks this cold weather is climate change. I don't know why you're asking that. Why are you asking that? Don't you?
I think that's a dig at the silence on climate change issues recently.
Has there been?
Compared to how vocal the administration was at the beginning about climate change matters.
Okay. I mean, they've had to be vocal about a lot of other things, so I don't think there's been silence on climate change. They just had something, they were in the House last week debating a bill. I don't think they've been silent. People are only paying attention to what they want to pay attention to.
Okay.
Yeah, no.
Okay.
This person says the weather here is Tampa. The weather here in Tampa, you're in Tampa, is ridiculously cold, 34 degrees, but the power didn't go. Okay. Well, you don't have anything with Bahamas in the name of your power company, texter.
No, wasn't somebody saying that the same issue, one of the previous texters today, said that some of the companies
further
abroad.
north. Yeah. Further north, yeah. I wish this weather would last all year long. The only thing that bothered me was BPL. Hey. Yeah. The government needs a hedge fund so we can pay for this cold weather and use it in June to October. If only. Wouldn't that be great? Buy it now and then use it when you need it. These past few days have been miserable for me. I'm so sorry to hear that.
Oh,
Wow. This one says, I live in Eastern New Providence, I think, and my power went on and off. I had to check my appliances to make sure the surge didn't blow anything. That was very scary. Very scary. What kind of mess did this New Day government get us into? Only one entity and only one can be in charge of managing BPL at a time.
Really?
Do you remember the call on Friday from a guy purporting to be a BPL employee who said that it's real stuff going on over there, and that we hadn't seen the worst of it yet? It seems that person was spot on. Yeah, well. Wow. All the streets on Tawny Coombs Darling Highway were off for months now. This is a disgrace since the new company took over. Well, okay. Are they responsible for that? Are they responsible for the lights?
We don't know, Dwight.
I don't know if they're the ones responsible, but it's been off for a number of streets long before they came, and still. So very little has changed in that regard, but I don't know if they're responsible for the lights. This person says the BPL saga was caused by this administration with this shady deal. Everything they touch goes to ashes. And why is the union so quiet on the issue? We were talking about that off air. They had elections last week, making it look like everything was going well.
Hunky-dory,
but people are texting us saying that engineers are reading meters. And so I don't know.
You can imagine that.
But if you're getting the same salary, maybe that is nice.
I mean, again, if you pay me the same thing and you don't want me to do less work or whatnot, why would I complain? Why?
But your power goes off too, though, right?
Yeah, but you gave me orders and I'm following the orders. And if that doesn't make sense, but you don't want to make sense, why would I argue with you? Why am I going to try and get you to see sense? I mean, I can understand where they're coming from.
Wow, this is where we are. When a government is engaged in hidden deals, this is what you get. Well, no one cares about a possibly legal operation called Power Grid. What? Okay, but I think we got the first part. Imagining ruining your integrity, good name, reputation, and the respect of the Bahamian people, all in hopes of riding political horse into the sunset. Then that very political horse kicks you in your buttocks and you become a laughing stock. Reputation and credibility ruined. Karma ain't nobody friend.
Oh, my gosh. Say what you got to say without calling names. Why don't
I
you?
mean, they didn't. I mean, I want to know who they're talking about, really.
Just
'cause
exactly
who has the good name in this? I don't know if anybody involved
I don't know
has a good name.
Maybe, okay, yeah, so maybe
Yeah?
not a good name.
Oh, well. And then the new people don't have anything yet, so they don't. I don't think it's that. I don't know. I was in a store on Saturday. A lady was speaking to another lady. I was next to her. I asked, "Are you Deandra?" She said no. I told her that her voice sounded just like you, but it turns out she is your cousin.
Oh, wow. What can I say? Cartwrights procreate like bunnies.
That's your response to that?
There are lots of us.
I mean, how do you get each other to sound the same, though?
No, it's so... I will say this. If you ever meet a Long Island person...
That's not what I expected you to say. Wow.
No, there are lots of us. No, we look alike. So I get
But no,
it.
they said only the voice is why.
No, so I will say there are some of us... It can be the same thing texted, but it could be similar. I understand that. Right? I think what you're trying to say is I lied to the person and say it wasn't me. Is that what you're trying to say?
No, not at all. Not me. That's not what I was thinking.
No, I some of us do sound a little bit similar or whatnot, and we can have the same
Or
cadence.
maybe it's all Long Island people.
Not all, but if you get us upset enough, we start to sound alike. So I tell people, please don't make me start to sound like a Manga Bush woman, because once that happen, you need to run. What they say about Baytown women, same thing about my island and certain settlements. Please don't get me.
I see. Interesting. Okay.
I get that. Powerful. This is why I stopped talking in public. I like that.
Wow. So this person says, power issues, so what's new? We, the people, continue to suffer. Government after government just can't get the power issues solved.
That's what I've been
But I think you're looking at this wrong way. As a caller did say earlier, yeah, even in big cities that are used to this type of weather, they were having outages too.
Right.
That's not a problem. And as I said at the beginning of the show, if you needed a reminder, it doesn't matter what the weather is. The power can go off here. Sunny days, windy days, rainy days, perfect days, whatever. The power can go off. The thing is that the company responsible for the electricity is telling you they were shut out of the command center for reasons they don't even know.
Right, and that's
That is the problem here. What's that about? Yes, government definitely needs to answer to that one. But so it's not that this is not new. This part is definitely new.
Right.
This is unheard of. And how is it possible? We don't know because we don't know what the deal is. We've been asking for years. It's 2024. We've been asking since then, and we don't know. They're saying the internet has been out since noon as well.
The internet?
Yeah, with one company. Seems as if the B is in the name, it'll be a problem. I'm just saying that something's wrong.
Hope that there could be properly functioning infrastructure. We're not keeping that hope alive.
If the B is in the name. The Titanic ships were on, as reported, according to Seattle saying that the power companies throughout the Bahamas conspired together to minimize power supply to customers. I'm not reading the rest of this. What
no,
now?
man. No, stop
why
it.
would they do that? Okay, sorry.
You saying the power company's trying to mistreat us? What?
This person says, Dwight, you're jokey, talking about we are the politicians' employer. What a laugh. We really are, but we're acting like they are our heroes and gods.
Okay, so
That's
show me
the
where we could
attitudes.
change it up then. Show me how we can actually evaluate our members of parliament. And if they're not providing a satisfactory performance, we can have them removed.
If you want that, you can make that happen.
How?
You can, the same people who come to you begging at this time
Yeah,
of
but that's
year,
only every 5 years.
tell them, hey, I need you to put in a recall system. But again, we got to look bigger than this. That will be better in a system where you have true local government. They're just going to the House to make laws, which is what they should be doing. You won't necessarily need that as much as somebody who is managing your area. Right?
Yeah.
We have nobody managing communities across this country. Nobody. Everybody's doing their own thing. We have town planning pretending to be something. But who's making decisions? And that makes sense.
Yeah.
You can put this there next to that, really, just because they don't compete? Does that make sense? Does that look good? Nobody cares. Nobody
Makes
cares.
sense anymore.
Nothing. So in a system where you can do that, sure, put in a recall system. But otherwise, yes, every 5 years you get to tell your employee, go away.
That's such a far. But maybe if we can, ladies and gentlemen, we have the power as the people. I mean, allegedly, right? So imagine if we could have like this midterm, how we have the midterm budget and things like that, right? Review of your MP's performance. And perhaps these are projects that some community organizations or individuals can put together. Like, how have they performed? I'm quite serious, Dwight. I want to see. I don't know if I'll do it for all of the candidates. I know for my island I will be. What did you say you're going to do? And did you actually achieve it? Like, I want to trend it. Now, imagine if we actually did that, and then at certain intervals, 1 year, 2 years, halfway point, how far did you get along? What extra stuff did you do? How far did you deviate from that?
Can you do that with an MP system like this? I mean, all they really say they're doing is a feeding program here and a community.
I mean, no, some of them actually, to be fair, some of them actually do come out like with plans, but then a lot of it is subsumed within the party's plans.
And then
so
it doesn't make sense. It just is not going to make sense to evaluate them on that level. It just is ridiculous.
Well, let's say if they actually come out with individual plans, they should.
Why would they do that? I mean, some of them will, but it really doesn't make sense.
But it has to feed into the party's plan.
And then the two often have the same ideals, the two parties, the two major ones. It's the
now
same
you're
goals.
Now you're going
I'm
somewhere.
saying we're not looking at this in a sensible, rational way. And we're evaluating people based on a lot of nonsense and not looking at things that they should be evaluated on. Right? How you voted, and it doesn't even matter because they have to do what the party says. This is not a system designed to help the people. It's not. Not at all. And we continue to pretend as if it is, as if it matters at all who they put there, who's ratified. All they want is the best yes man, yes woman, who will do what they tell them if they get the seat. It's not about us. It's not about you. It's not about me. It's not about fixing anything unless the big overall party wants to fix it.
This is the
and that's
truth.
very scary. Very scary.
The unfortunate truth.
Let's take these calls really quickly, and then we've got to take a break. Good morning, caller, on the air.
Good morning, Dwight, and good morning, Deandra.
Hi, good morning.
A very happy very beautiful day. Beautiful last couple of days.
Wonderful.
Loving it. You know, she was asking how could we go about the MPs that doesn't, I guess, do what they're supposed to for the communities. How about if we as Bahamians become one Bahamas and stand up, go out there and protest? Let's go and sign petition and force the government's hand, whoever's in power, to move said MP and replace them. And we have to be consistent across the board. We can't do it for one party and don't do it for the other. We need to stand up, show up as Bahamians. I don't think we are together as Bahamians, no. We are still each as an individual. We are not Bahamians as a collective. And that is what we need to do to change, to get the change we need in this country.
Okay.
And I'm ready for it.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Yeah, the couple messages as we go to the break. This issue affecting BPL. This issue with BPL is affecting customers. I emailed BPL months ago about tree trimming around power lines in my neighborhood, and to this date, no response. Yeah, you got to be very patient with that. That often takes a very long time. This person says, that's why I never vote, because since it's not about me, I'm not about them. Oh, boy. I don't know. Anyway, got to go to the break, folks. We'll be talking about that a lot as we head towards the election. But we got to go to the break. This is Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9. Stay with us.
This world concrete, flowers grow. Heartache, she only do what she know. Weekends, get it popping on the low. Better days coming for sure.
No one likes a fender bender.
Oh, man.
From a little scratch to a full mashup, NUA Insurance has got you covered with auto insurance tailored to fit your needs and budget. For affordable rates with free on-site accident assistance, visit us online or in branch and just ask us. NUA Insurance. Ask us, because we've got you covered.
Sherwin-Williams Bahamas doesn't mess about when it comes to product range and product knowledge.
If it's a new product come in the store, we walk the store and study that product.
One thing with our boss, if a new product comes in, he takes the time and he's always keeping us up to date with product knowledge. And we just had 9 weeks of different products that we had to study, and we had exams at the end of each product.
Yeah.
The only way we could sell the product effective, we have to know that product. Yeah, that helps us to relate to our customers. It gives us better knowledge to know what product to introduce to them. You understand? So we can know what product to give them to use and what product not to give them to use. So product knowledge is really key in Sherwin-Williams.
They got the keys. And the key is the product knowledge that comes with our extensive product range at Sherwin-Williams Paints, Bahamas. Find color in every day.
Tired of banks forcing you to use technology to bank the way they want you to? Your convenience is important. So no matter what your banking needs, Commonwealth Bank's friendly staff are always available in branch for that personal one-on-one service. But when you choose technology, our online and mobile banking app offers you state-of-the-art functionality. The choice is yours. Commonwealth Bank. Bank the way you want.
Planning for retirement can be overwhelming, but with CFAL, it doesn't have to be. We offer tailor-made individual, group, and pension solutions that take the guesswork out of retirement planning. Whether it's for you or your company, don't leave your future to chance and let the trusted hands of CFAL's experts guide you toward peace of mind and financial stability. Low upfront costs and affordable monthly payments make it easy for you to build wealth so you can live well. Visit us at cfal.com to start on your path toward financial freedom. CFAL, growing wealth for future generations.
In the world of business, technology is not a choice, it's a necessity. And for businesses that demand excellence, there's only one choice for unparalleled support and cutting-edge technology. Custom Computers. You have challenges and we have solutions. Computing, networking, storage, and printing for enterprises large and small, aligned with premium brands like HP, Microsoft, Konica Minolta, and more. Get tech done the right way with Custom Computers. Call the Know-How team at 396-1101.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. Streaming on GuardianTalkRadio.com and the Guardian Radio app. Nassau, Bahamas.
She said, take your time, what's the rush? I said, baby, I'm a dog, I'm a mutt. She said, take your time, what's the rush? I said, baby, I'm a dog, I'm a mutt. I'm a dog, I'm a mutt. I can smoke already, so pardon my bluntness. I see past pretty faces, so I got trouble trusting. But I let my guard down for you. Said I put my guard down for you. Said I'll be vulnerable, so you can break my heart if you want to. She said, take your time, what's the rush? I said, baby, I'm a dog, I'm a mutt. She said, take your time, what's the rush?
We are back with Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9. Dwight Strong, DeAndre Cartwright. And again, we're playing Grammy winners or nominees all morning long. Okay, so do you have somewhere to go for Sunday for the big game? Nassau Cruiseport says they are the place to be. Aisha Roll and Antoinette Todd are with us. Good morning. Good to see you all again.
Good morning. Thanks for having us.
All right, so this is the big game day watch party.
At the amphitheater at Nassau Cruiseport.
How many years have you been doing this now?
This is our third one.
Wow, nice. All right, so
and we're kicking off with a weekend of events, I'd say. We're starting from Friday for First Fridays. We're back with First Fridays, our corporate happy hour. And we're sponsored by CBL. Commonwealth Brewery is back with us this year, as well as Sign Island. Happy hour starts at 4 p.m. and we're going until 10. It's free until 6. After 6 is a $10 cover charge. So this is the first one for the year. Folks have been asking, are you still doing First Fridays this year? I'm like, yeah, we just took January off. It's just 1 month. But we're back this Friday. We have an amazing lineup. We have Amalak the Creator, DJ Extreme, our resident DJs, DJ Tank, DJ Kenny, as well as Big L. That will be touching the stage for a happy hour. Nice. And of course, we have our tenants that will be open, Bamboo Shack, The Island Post, Gallery and Wine Bar, Grill Hut, as well as Shore Break. And everyone has their own, drink specials and apps and some combos going on. So come on down to the Cruiseport. Come check it out. Again, it is the corporate happy hour. So don't go home and go change. Just come.
Just come from work.
Come straight from work.
Yeah.
Straight from work. I mean, of course, if your companies don't mind you in your uniform out there, but we don't mind.
Excellent.
But come on down to the corporate happy hour.
So that's Friday.
Then you take a little break on Saturday, get yourself together for the big game. So game day, gates open at 4 for the pre-party. We're being hosted by Ozzy the Entertainer. We have pre-party vibes brought to you by DJ Kenny, DJ Fresh International, and DJ Spuddy. And that's going to go up until about 5:30.
What's going to be happening during the pre-party, Aisha?
Some giveaways, a little bit of interactions. We have, like I said, a CBL is back with us this year, so they got some stuff to give away. Nassau Cruiseport as well. We have some trinkets from our tenants, as well as some NCP merch.
Grand prizes.
And grand prizes. So essentially, once you enter, you'll be getting a raffle ticket. And then once you take our surveys as well. You enter to win some big things.
That's pretty cool.
So we're excited for that.
And when those drawings will be taking place, how often?
So we don't want to distract from the game. So that's only going to be happening between that 4 and 5:30 period. So you got to get there early. Now, after the game, so the game's going to end about 10:30, 11 o'clock maybe. But we're going to go straight up until about 12:30 with the after party with the Playhouse DJs. We have DJ Bravo and Big L. So some more giveaways will be happening after the game. So, come spend the day with us. Spend the night with us.
That's a lot of partying.
Yeah.
4 to 12.
4 to 12.
Oh, boy. Wow.
Yeah.
You got to pace yourself. Any tips on how to pace yourself
I mean, well, once you get your skybox, your skyboards, your tables, you'll be comfortable for the most part. But for those that don't want to, go all out, you are welcome to bring your chairs, as always, your blankets. We do have some seating on the lawn, but that's all, first come, first serve.
Yeah. All right. So normally when you come, the skyboxes, skypods are already sold out. How are we looking at this point right now?
I think we have about 4 boxes still available. Wow. The pods are still available. Mm-hmm. The pods aren't going that fast. Last time I checked, I didn't really check since Friday, but we still had a few left.
Tell us what's available in each. What's in the Sky Pod, and then we'll get to the box.
So the Sky Pods are $1,050. That's 1 case of beer, 1 bottle, catering for 8 tickets, and 2 parking passes.
Okay.
So I think it's a pretty good deal for the price point.
Yeah.
And you have a lot of people that come. They don't even bring the full 8. The full complement of 8, it's just like 6, and they're like, yeah, no, we were fine. Like they have extra 2 tickets. They just want to be comfortable.
Right.
And then they may see a friend or two in the crowd, and it's like, oh, I have an extra pass. You can come into the box. But it is limited. We want to keep everybody safe. So we don't want 12 people in the Sky Pod or, that's what the Sky Box is for.
Right.
The Sky Box.
If you have 9, could you? No. No more than 8.
No more than 8.
Okay, no more than 8. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So the Sky Boxes are $15.50. That's 2 cases of beer, 2 spirits, catering for 12 tickets, and 3 parking passes. Nice. So yeah, pretty good price points.
Yeah.
And then you have your tables at $200. That's 4 tickets, so 4 passes, 1 beer bucket, and an NCP game day bundle that comes with your ticket, with your table. Yeah.
Yeah. And general admission?
$10.
Just $10.
Just $10.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Anybody pulling for any of the teams?
No.
No.
Not
this year.
Sunday.
Not this year.
No.
Oh, man.
No.
But to get the Skyboxes, Skypods tables in advance, you can purchase on ticketboxevents.com. So that's really where you go to purchase those Skypods and Skyboxes. Because like Dwight said earlier, maybe sold out by the time you reach at the door, right?
Yeah.
So try and get them in advance. You know how we go. We're a bit like last minute, but if you check on the website now, you can get them whilst they're still available.
Absolutely. And then we want to be a little bit, we want to be organized. So when you do purchase in advance, we're able to, send you a list to organize your Skybox to your liking before you arrive, because we will need, Skybox purchasers and Skypod purchasers to say, okay, I want a case of Click, I want a case of Heineken,
okay.
all these things to be in place when you reach. So it's not, we have the scramble when you arrive. No, everything is in place. You have your passes. You'll be able to pick them up on Friday at happy hour.
Okay.
And you walk in, you show your pass, and you're good to go.
Yeah.
No hesitation, nothing. You're just in and comfortable.
All right. So how far can you go with the personalization?
It all depends.
Yeah.
So we have a menu. We have a set menu for food, but then for the alcohol, it's a list that you have to choose from. Okay. Yeah. And you do have persons that, I know one year we had a group that was celebrating a birthday as well, and they wanted to bring in cupcakes, or they wanted to put up balloons to say happy birthday. Like,
if you wanted to
so
have
so okay, no problem.
You
can come ahead of time, and all that takes permissions at the gate and other things like that. So it's proper planning. Yeah.
Excellent. All right. So remind folks, all these things are happening Friday and Sunday, big game day. What they need to do if they want to be a part of all of this.
So first Fridays, you're going to come to Nassau Cruise Port, 4 p.m. The gates open. It is free until 6 p.m., after which it is a $10 cover charge, and we are going until 10 p.m. Music by Amlak the Creator, DJ Extreme, DJ Tank, DJ Kenny, and Big L. We have happy hour drink specials going on all day at 4 different bars open to serve you. Then on Sunday, we are being hosted by Ozzy the Entertainer. Pre-party starts at 4 p.m. until 5:30. Then you have a little bit of time to, get comfortable for when the kickoff starts. Then we have pre-game vibes by DJ Kenny, DJ Fresh International, and DJ Spuddy. After the game, it's the after party with Playhouse DJs, Big L and DJ Bravo. Lots of giveaways. Thank you to our sponsors, Commonwealth Brewery, Zaymar, and Sign Island.
Yeah. And it must be something watching the game on that gigantic screen.
3.
Eh?
Yeah, we got 3 big screens.
Oh.
3 big screens.
So you can watch it from any angle.
Yeah.
Any angle.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
It's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, can't wait.
And the weather hopefully will cooperate. It should be a little warmer than it is now.
Yes, it's looking so, and we're praying that, the cold front can, just go. We need all the good weather for the weekend.
Looking forward to it. It's going to be great. Again, Nassau Cruise Port is a place to be Friday and Sunday.
Absolutely.
Yes. And the big game day.
Any
predictions? Anybody? No.
A good time. We're predicting a good time at the amphitheater.
All right. Aisha Roll, Antoinette Todd. Thank you. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
Again, looking forward to this weekend. All right. We're going to be back after the news. This is Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9.
Like I'm paying signs cause I'm trying breaking it. New condo, say your name at the front. You can stay if you want. It's been one of those nights.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. Streaming on GuardianTalkRadio.com and the Guardian Radio app. Nassau, Bahamas. Views and opinions of the hosts and guests are their own and do not necessarily reflect the views of the management and staff of Guardian Radio.
Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day.
Good morning and welcome to Morning Blend Business on this Monday, February 2nd, 2026. Welcome back to our Morning Blend listeners. Once again, I'm Dwight Strachan along with Deandra Cartwright. And this morning, we continue with our special series with the Department of Public Health. And we're very pleased to have back with us Director of the Department of Public Health, Dr. Philip Swan. Good morning, sir. Great to have you with us.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
All right, so we've been doing a special series. It's been almost a year now, and
Yes.
time has gone by very quickly. Let's remind our listeners what the objective was here, and how we've helped to achieve that, and what you're doing at the Department of Public Health.
So when we conceptualized this idea, it really was about how do we ensure that the general public understands the role of the Department of Public Health. A lot of persons, even those working in the health sector, they don't understand the distinction between the Department of Public Health and the Ministry of Health and Wellness.
Right.
And the Department of Public Health, of course, is responsible for the community clinics in the Family Islands and most of them in New Providence. And that's delivering services and making sure that there is appropriate access, there is appropriate support, especially when it comes to emergencies on the Family Islands. A secondary role of that, of the department, is the actual management of population health programs. These are programs that collect data on what's happening with the population as a whole. So how poor we are, quote unquote, as it relates to our obesity rates, hypertension, diabetes, and other illnesses, as well as how we implement programs to protect the public. We talk about the expanded program on immunization, our national surveillance infectious disease program. It takes a look at making sure that we protect the public from outbreaks of infections, as well as the importation of infections in the country from around the world. And then, of course, there's the antenatal or maternal and child health program, which is tasked with ensuring that we provide services for persons who are pregnant, or women who are pregnant, rather, and ensure that their babies are taken care of and are tracked as we move on. Yeah. So these are some of the things that we're responsible for, which we also are expanding our role into ensuring that we do some surveillance of persons who have hypertension, diabetes, how well they're controlled in the community, how well our programs are managing their control. And this is important because, of course, whatever failure happens in the primary care system shows up in the hospital, where cost is exponentially more. So our aim is really to ensure that we have the information to inform our programs and to guide how we try to assist the public.
Yeah, so you focus a lot on prevention and getting information out there.
Right, and that's one of our primary roles as well, health promotion, health education. And that was one of the reasons why we decided to take this medium to make sure we get that out there.
Yeah. So what are you seeing in terms of responses from the public, in terms of being open to information on prevention and education practices in general?
So what we're saying is that we are simply echoing what a lot of persons already know. In some cases, there may be some gaps, and we're filling in those gaps as well. But I think the important part for us is to ensure that the word gets out from a trusted source, from a source that is the authority, quote unquote, in the government in the Bahamas.
Right. All right. So you said something very important. Information people already know. A lot of people already know this stuff, but yet we see what we see. What is happening there? Is it just everybody's on a you only live once mentality and I got to do what I got to do? Or what's really happening?
So we are in the process of trying to figure out how to do intentional research on that, especially amongst our persons who have hypertension and diabetes who are uncontrolled.
Yeah.
What exactly are the challenges that you have? We provide the information, we provide treatment, we provide, for the most part, for treatment. And we try to make sure that we give you the information that you require. I think one of the challenges are, and some of us are maybe stuck in this adolescent phase of invincibility.
Boy.
It's them and not me. It's never going to happen to me, even though I see myself, it's not going to happen to me.
Yeah.
And so taking that kind of responsibility. And then also it's the support, the community support. I mean, we have what we call an obesogenic environment, which means there's a bunch of sugar, a bunch of fat, a bunch of low fiber foods out there.
Yeah.
That taste wonderful, and we insist that we must be full partakers of these events that when these foods are available.
Yeah.
And so it's all about how do we ensure that we give the message out. We work with the ministry to bring in some policies that would make the unhealthy foods a little less attractive, and then basically just trying to work one-on-one with individuals.
Yeah. All right. So that comes up a lot. Policy changes. So people are saying it a lot, but how open do the policymakers seem, and how open is the public to this type of change if we're going to put these restrictions on people?
So when we look at what it takes for policy to be successful, you have to look at, first of all, is there evidence to say that this policy will have some sort of benefit? Then you have to understand if the public is clamoring for this policy. Is it something that they are truly desirous of having? And then the third is if the policymakers are willing to make the changes that are necessary.
Right.
Are they willing to go that route to make those changes? And you have, of course, hesitancies when you come to the last two, because persons are willing to make the change for somebody else, but not for me. I don't want you to tell me what I could buy, what I could eat, what I could drink.
Oh, wow.
And then when it comes to policymakers, we have to look at the landscape as well. How does this impact me as a policymaker? Full stop.
Yeah. Oh boy! So
the data is there. We have the data.
Yeah,
it's clear. It's plain. It's in country as well as out. But the issue is beyond just having the data.
Oh gosh! So I mean, is it just me, or does it sound like we're stuck? Because
I wouldn't say we're stuck. I'd use, I guess, euphemism. We're treading water, and I say that because anything can change at any point in time that can cause you to move forward. So I would say to you that the policy makers or the policy designers, put it that way, have the policies ready. So as soon as we have the environment where these policies can be implemented, we'll be there with you.
Yeah.
And that's our role. Our role is to be ready to address the issues whenever they come.
Wow. All right. So I'm just thinking about that. So which one is easier? Is it penalizing the bad stuff or making it easier to take part in the good stuff? If you follow
Well, it depends on what you call making it easier to take care of the good stuff. And because you have, when you say take it,
just that mic. There we go.
Right.
Okay, thank you.
So it depends on what you mean when you say make it easy to take part of the good stuff. What are the barriers to purchasing or getting foods? And one, of course, cost has always been an issue. Sustainability. If I get it today, will I get it tomorrow or next week? And then the last part is when I do get it, can I get it in the amounts that I can sustain? When we first started this journey, I would say when I first started this journey about maybe 9 years ago, you all talk about, let's get some fruits and vegetables, make sure you have these things in your homes. Right. And then you realize that, because the fruits and vegetables are expensive, were expensive comparatively, because, you could buy a chip for 69 cents. You could buy an apple, the cheapest is 99 cents, right? So, you got to bargain. I mean, how do you work with these things? If I now make the investment and go and purchase, say, an apple or even some vegetables, lettuce, etc., how do I preserve that? Because if I don't have a refrigerator in my home because I don't have electricity, then how do I ensure that these things are preservable?
Yeah.
So it's a wise investment. So we've had to step back and try to figure out how do we ensure that we make the recommendations that are live, that are real, and that can reach persons where they are. We tend to think that everybody's just like us. We got 1 or 2 refrigerators in our homes. Electricity is always on, but then we look, in reality, it's not necessarily the case, especially when you realize that persons with non-communicable diseases are usually found in increasing numbers among the low socioeconomic groupings. I mean, because of, choices that they have to make.
Right.
So you make the food cheaper.
Yeah.
Right. But then how do you preserve it?
Mm-hmm. Wow. So, Dr. Swan, I'm wondering if you are noticing this. So I think it's gotten worse since COVID, but it seems like the battle against misinformation, this is getting harder and harder. The conspiracies out there and people believing that a lot of the stuff that medical professionals say is hogwash. How do you counter that type of attitude that seems to be growing in this country?
So I guess it's forums like this, right? You have to also be on social media, buy trusted channels, and ensure that we watch those channels and make sure that no one can add stuff to those. And of course, there are fake channels as well. And so when we actually started our Facebook page, I had about 3 or 4 or 5 different names to make sure they all come back to the one channel.
Right.
Because persons will go and set up a channel with the same similar type name just to make sure they get their fake information out.
Oh.
So the other part then is you have to look at well, the information is out there because there's media to get this. Nothing new.
Yeah.
These things have been going on for decades, for centuries. It's just that now persons have a platform, and to use a biblical term, we have a population with itchy ears, right? So we want to hear what we want to hear, and especially if it helps us to rationalize the decisions that we know are poor choices, then we will tend to lean to that direction. But who's to say is what the statement would be?
Right.
And at the end of the day, they know full well what the challenges are.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So are you noticing an increase, or is it just, as you say, we're more aware of it because of
again,
the nature of social media?
You see it out there on social media. You hear it sometimes come across on the radio to call-in shows, and it's difficult to try to combat all of that. So you just have to keep on tracking on stream with your message. That is the accurate message, and make sure that when you send your messages out, and who you use to send your messages out are persons that you can trust all around. I can't. For example, there's this popular desire to engage in social media influencers.
Right.
I can hire you as a social media influencers for my event or my activity, but if next week you promoting an alcohol fest, and then that means that you have my branding, my support to promote this alcohol fest. So unless I have to make sure that I be careful who I invest my dollars with and who I empower to carry the message.
Yeah. Along the same lines, the changes that are happening in other countries, especially to our big neighbor to the north, where officials in the health system are changing policies and practices that have been in place for decades. What impact does that have on the work that you do here?
It makes it more important that we keep to the message. We keep our message clear, and we understand. This is, again, to help persons understand that the authority for health in the Bahamas is the Ministry of Health and its agencies.
Yeah.
So there will always be countries that, for one reason or the other, and for most persons it's shocking what's happening, but again, we have to ensure that we keep the message. We put things in place that continue to protect the public, because it's going to be important that we preserve ourselves as a people, as a country, and to preserve our economy.
Yeah. Wow. We're talking with Dr. Philip Swan, the Director of the Department of Public Health. You can, if you have questions, text us, 422-4796. We'll open the phone lines a little bit later. So what, from your perspective, you see as some of the issues that the department needs to work on, that needs to get more messaging or education on about?
So the hypertension, diabetes, control of those things are what we feel our big ticket items, put it that way. We also need to ensure that we are tackling early diagnosis of cancer. So your non-communicable diseases are one of the things that we feel it's important. And I said it because, as I intimated earlier, persons who are uncontrolled when it comes to hypertension, diabetes, especially diabetes, it impacts their call it the smaller vessels, and so the smaller vessels become impacted, and you now have challenges with the end organs, end organ damage, your kidneys, your eyes, your brain, your legs. So these are some, and your heart. These are some of the things you try to combat by trying to keep persons controlled. And so getting the message out of control, what control means, ensuring that we have the ability to answer questions when they arise. So, use of social media platforms, introducing some hotlines in some cases, and then us trying to figure out how do we tap into the psyche of our patients by expanding access to some counseling services if they become necessary.
Right. Speaking of counseling, during the series we've had quite a bit about mental health here, and we're seeing the shift in prioritizing this. Has everybody jumped on board? Everybody understanding the importance of this?
I think a short answer is yes, I think. I don't have any empirical data for it, but I feel that there's more conversations about it. There's more persons sharing correct information and persons also pushing back at the incorrect information. Okay. And I think that's important. I think, of course, it started right after Dorian and then into COVID, but it was wonderful that we were able to ride the current wave, so to speak. And speaking about policies, the population and the policymakers were interested in making the policy change, and so we're able to change our Mental Health Act, which was over 60 years old at the time, to a new Mental Health Act. And so now we're in the process of putting things into place.
Yeah. Deandra?
Great. So I attended a bush tea workshop over the weekend.
Okay.
So hearing this conversation and talking about misinformation that might be out there and the importance of medicinal management of some of these NCDs, what are your thoughts on our culture encouraging bush medicine in place of medicine, or how could the two coexist potentially?
It's a good question. So I would say to you about prior to COVID knocked a lot of things off track. We had established an indigenous medicine desk in the Ministry of Health. Right. It didn't quite go as where you wanted to go. We had a naturalist who was in charge of the desk at the time and put together some protocols. And then, of course, in WHO, there's also this discussion about how do you bring in these indigenous medicines into the management of hypertension, diabetes, chronic non-communicable diseases, as well as in prevention. Mm-hmm. So what we have currently, I think there is an officer and a half attached to the Office of the Chief Medical Officer, who is actually traveling to different conferences and workshops around the world to gain information, to use the information that they have, the policies and protocols that they have. What is the challenge for us in medicine is that when you prescribe something, there's always a dose-response relationship.
Yes.
And so we have to ensure that there are ways for us to determine, this bark, quote unquote,
right,
that you drink here or that's brewed by you
right,
has the same potency and purity as the bark that Strachan brews and he sells on the other side of the street. Mm-hmm. So how do we ensure that, we're saying this natural medicine, natural bush has some medicinal impact, but how do you ensure that is what you're getting out of that every time you use it? Because when you boil your tea, you may just boil it for an hour,
right,
where someone boiled it overnight and let it steep until it's cool.
Right.
So, difficulties in there.
I will say that I was very proud because it was the Bahamas National Trust workshop, and their presenter literally encouraged the audience. If you're drinking bush tea, make sure your doctor knows about that.
Correct.
Make sure you double check with your doctor what would be an alternative way to deal with the medication and the importance of cycling yourself off. I was impressed because they were talking about some teas lower your blood platelet count.
Right.
They change so many different things, and it will impact the efficacy of the medicine that you are prescribed by your doctor.
Correct.
So I feel like an opportunity for public health would also be to work with the folks that are making teas and working in bush medicine or whatnot, to be like, hey, make sure your people know about this. But I feel like our population, because I'm from Long Island, my people go into some of my people, I was grown to say, no, go take this plant right here. You don't need to take that medicine.
Right.
This sort of thing. So it's, I think,
and to some extent,
it does. I literally have persons even on this island. Somebody said they were diagnosed with diabetes. They did it they approached it the natural way. They didn't have to take their medication. But my thing is when you speak like that, it's very important to, I should say misinformation, but talk about both sides of that story.
Correct.
Because it could work naturally, but some people need the medication.
Correct.
So we shouldn't discourage people to not take the medication. You have to find out what works.
And what works for you might not work for somebody else.
Exactly.
That's correct.
Exactly.
And one of the challenges, and you mentioned about the bush tea, one of the conditions that we saw in Jamaica when we were in medical school was this and liver failure, because the alkaloids or the chemicals under bush medicine, these were chronic bush tea abusers, would have damaged the liver so much so that the liver failed. All right, and this came like a solid block. Whoa. And so you have to definitely make sure that you're taking it in the right doses and you're not having those kinds of challenges.
But the same thing, you bring up liver failure. There are so many supplements available on the market that are not prescribed that persons are taking as well. Adding it to their daily regimen.
Yes,
and I'm like,
yes.
I was having a conversation with somebody because they were like talking about ashwagandha. I was like, do you know that you have to cycle yourself off of that every couple of days? Your body literally cannot. And they're like, oh, I didn't know that. I've been taking it every day and it's been over a year. I'm like, did you talk to your doctor? Please go talk to your doctor. You're not supposed to do that.
So I think you do raise something that we probably was a blind spot for us. We do need to try to put some more information on us out, especially as it relates to the supplements, because that is something that's chronically abused by not just our population, but persons in general. And then, of course, making sure that the sources of these supplements are at least regulated at some point or the other. I mean, there's no agency that's going to say we approve this supplement, but there are agencies that say, well, the process that they make the supplement is something that passes the muster, so to speak.
Wow. Vaccine hesitancy. We've done a few episodes on vaccines, and there's a lot of pushback as we see what's going on in the U.S., but there are people here with the same mentality.
Correct.
What are you finding here, and what are the challenges? How are you going to address some of these issues?
So it's a slog uphill, right? We have to put more programs in place, try to enforce some policies that exist to ensure that we continue to protect our population. And one of the things that we specifically are concerned about are our rates of measles vaccine, the practices that we have with some providers actually providing it. And of course, we look to the north and we see the outbreaks that happen in various communities. Right. And one of the things that I think from a public education perspective, public awareness perspective, is just for us to provide some, warnings, notices, alerts on communities in the U.S. that may have outbreaks, so that you can understand the risk that you take if you are unvaccinated or your child. So if your child is unvaccinated, traveling to those areas. Right. And one of the things also we would like to remind persons is, congenital rubella is something that leaves children blind, dumb, deaf, with heart problems. Wow. And so you don't necessarily know that you're exposed until after the impact has occurred. So protection is key, and ensuring that you protect yourself and protect your children.
Yeah. Have you seen a noticeable fall off, or what are we looking at in terms of numbers?
So our numbers are still where they were, and we have a slight increase actually, because we've tried to go and do our follow-ups, and we're in the process of trying to put some more data gathering policies and practices in place to ensure that we are reflecting adequately and appropriately what is the real picture out there.
Yeah. Wow.
But thankfully we have had no outbreaks locally. Or no diagnoses locally. And so every now and again, it's a hold your breath when someone presents with, they call it the prodromal or the early signs of measles, for example, and you hold your breath till the titers come back of whether or not this is actually measles or not.
Oh, boy. Wow. All right, so I got to ask you this. We've had various units under your department here over the past few months, and similar story with all. The very small numbers working in that unit. It seems like a lot of these are understaffed. What's your perspective of that, and what can we do? Can the public do anything to help, or what do you really need? Ideally, this is your wish list here, Dr. Swan. What would you want if you could have your say on it?
So I think you're talking about my mental health and programming unit, right?
Well, that's one. That's definitely one. But a few others probably could use some
actually,
more.
that is a very new unit.
Okay.
And so we had to test the waters with that. Traditionally, our mental health messaging was derived from Silence Rehabilitation Center under the Public Hospitals Authority, and there was never a national picture on it. Okay. In 2019, just prior to Dorian, we were, pushed and encouraged to try to create something have a better focus on what's happening in mental health from a national perspective, because if you have institutional promotion, is speaking with institutional activities. So under the new when the government changed, we were successful in bringing in an actual unit of 2 persons who have done a yeoman's task in trying to get the message out. I've went to about, I think it's 7 or 8 family islands, establishing town hall meetings and networks within those communities we call them nodes in our network of mental health and psychosocial support. And we're working on some other programs as well. Right now, we're in the process of finalizing our national mental health and suicide prevention strategic plan.
Okay.
So these are things that we're working on. We're working with the governor of Bahamas with the subcommittee to the cabinet on vulnerable adults, especially those who are street walkers or unhoused persons, we call them. And so we're trying to figure out how to work together with it. So my wish list, of course, is to ensure that we have the space to accommodate persons. Funding in modern people, because you can have partners. And, of course, programs where persons can be exposed, especially healthcare workers, on how to screen as well as refer, and in some cases do some minor change, assistance with it, with minor, I guess, skills building.
Yeah. So do you need volunteers, or do you need people with specialties?
Well, you have to have a specialty. Okay. You have to be trained in mental health. So we have a relationship with the Bahamas Psychological Association, because there are maybe 4, at the most 5, psychologists or counselors within the public sector. And there are about 70 plus in that organization. So we're partnering with them to tap into their expertise. And even when you have the issues, I mean, I don't work with PHA, right? But that's the number I'm hearing. Psychologists, not psychiatrists.
Right.
So there's a difference there.
Well, are there more or less fewer psychiatrists?
No, there are more psychiatrists.
Oh, really?
There are more psychiatrists. Because you have a psychiatric program, right? So we train psychiatrists, quite regularly.
But only 4.
Oh, yeah, but 4 or 5 in the public sector, but not in public health. But we're trying to, practicing in public health.
Right.
We're trying to ensure that we tap into what's available out there. We have funding for it, because it's easier to buy services than to hire an individual, because the government's paid scale is what it is. Right. So we trying to work with what it is we have. Of course, we also trained or work along with the Public Hospitals Authority's Academy to train psychiatric nurses. And so their role, of course, is to be the stopgap between patients and the psychiatrists, and to ensure that there's follow-up in the community and ensure that there's compliance with medications.
Okay. We're talking with the Director of the Department of Public Health, Dr. Philip Swan. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, a few more things to talk about. This is Morning Blend Business on Guardian Radio. Stay with us, please.
Game start. Kissy face, sent to your phone, but I'm trying to kiss your lips for real. Red hearts, that's what I'm on, yeah. Come give me something I can feel. Don't you want me like a woman?
At CFAL, we understand that a secure future is the greatest gift you can give your employees. That's why our tailor-made group pension solutions are designed to fit the needs of both large and small companies. With CFAL, you can provide the retirement you and your employees deserve, ensuring peace of mind and financial stability for years to come. Join the many businesses that have already entrusted CFAL to create the right pension plan for their employees, and let us help you build a brighter future for your team. Visit us at cfal.com to get started on building wealth so you can live well. CFAL, growing wealth for future generations.
Screws and Fasteners World, Balfour Avenue and Palm Beach Street, has those hard-to-find fasteners for you right now. You can find stainless steel regular hex, carriage bolts, galvanized bolts, threaded rods, nails, self-tap screws, sex bolts, anchor bolts, turnbuckles, masonry tools, hand tools, and weed whacker strings. Check out the rope selection and car body fasteners too. Special orders are welcome. It's your #1 fastener store. Screws and Fasteners World, Balfour Avenue and Palm Beach Streets. Call 326-1976.
Looking for the perfect Saturday vibe? The Tourism Development Corporation invites you to Bites on Bay Food Truck Pop-Up, a celebration of food, culture, and community. Happening Saturday, February 7th, 2026, from 12 noon to 8 p.m. at the corner of Bay Street and Elizabeth Avenue. Enjoy free entry, delicious food trucks, live entertainment, a high-energy Junkanoo rush out, and free caricatures for the whole family. Come hungry, come early. Bites on Bay, presented by the Tourism.
짱이가 좋아하는 랜덤 게임, 랜덤 게임, 게임 스타트. 아파트 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 kissy face sent to your phone but I'm trying to kiss your lips for real. Red hearts, that's what I'm on, yeah. Come give me something I can feel. Don't you want me like I want you, baby? Don't you need me like I need you now? See tomorrow, but tonight go crazy. All you gotta do is just me.
We are back with Morning Blend Business on Guardian Radio 96.9. Dwight Strachan along with DeAndre Cartwright. We are talking with the Director of the Department of Public Health, Dr. Philip Swan, and talking about health education and awareness and the partnership we've had with the department for almost a year now.
Yes.
All right. So you said earlier that the public clinics fall under the Department of Public Health.
Yes, they
so
do.
that's under you, Dr. Swan. We know we've had nurses calling in sick. It's been a few days, up to yesterday apparently some were still out. Talk about the impact this has had on the clinics.
So again, as I started the conversation by trying to explain the roles.
Yeah.
Under the Ministry of Health, there is the Public Hospitals Authority and then the Department of Public Health. The Department of Public Health is responsible for community clinics, 10 in New Providence, 9 in New Providence, 9.5 in New Providence, and about 40 to 50 in the Family Islands. Except Grand Bahama. Grand Bahama clinics fall under the Public Hospitals Authority and the Grand Bahama Health System attached to the Rand Memorial Hospital.
Okay.
So the issue that happened recently was with the nurses at the Public Hospitals Authority. Some of the things that were given as a challenge that they had was more or less standard practice in the public sector. For example, I think the nurses did take issue with them not getting paid on time, and that's unfortunate. And I think the government as well as PHA addressed the challenges they had and their steps to try to resolve it. We do not have that similar challenge within the Department of Public Health, but as the Prime Minister mentioned, the overtime can become an issue if it's not monitored.
Right.
And so in the public sector, and this is not just the Department of Public Health, but in the government-wide public sector, there's a request for you to get approval for overtime before you work it.
Right.
So that allows us to determine if it's something that we can accommodate, and of course, if it's in the budget from that perspective. So the Department of Public Health was not as well, what can I say? Any impact is a negative impact for us. There were 2 locations in the department that had nurses call in sick to the extent that it compromised our care. It was disappointing because, again, our nurses we have no issues with. And I would think a social working contract is if I meet your needs as far as practical, then we don't have no issues. But apparently there was a call for solidarity across the union, and that impacted some of the services. But we were very happy that our nurses understood the impact that they have and their responsibility to duty, and not just to the patients but also to the institution. And they did not participate on Thursday and Friday as would happen in the hospital system.
They might have been sick too. A lot of people have been ill across
You're
the
right.
country.
You have been sick. That's right. You could have been sick. And those numbers, that's not like a pandemic. But the issue is also, so there are 2 parts of this thing, right? There are accommodations that we make for employees. For example, we have 6 call-in days and 20 for the year. This is January. That's all I'm going to say.
It's just the beginning. All right, so I was trying to explain it, but you're here. You can do it better than me. How does it work if you are in a hospital setting, in a clinic, and overtime? How do you know that you going to need overtime? What type of work are we talking about here? Is this picking up another shift, or if I'm in the middle of an emergency, how do I I'm not required to stop and say, I'm going to need to be here for an hour or so more to deal with this patient, right?
So it's not you who makes that determination. You have managers, and your managers make that determination. They look at the shifts, they have their rosters, and responsible employees call in when they're not going to be able to make it. And so if there's a need now to put an additional employee because the numbers are less than what expected or what is required or what is safe, then that supervisor reaches out to their manager, who reaches out to the hospital administrator, whatever line they have in there. For us, is you reach out to me, and I say yay or nay. Most likely it's a yay because you're not going to ask if it's not required. But the issue is trying to ensure that there is an understanding that you don't work and expect to get paid without you having the approval.
Right.
But policy says that it must be approved by either the head of the department or the permanent secretary. So it's so.
So if you're in the middle of an emergency.
Well, you're in the middle of an emergency, right? But you are the person delivering care.
Right.
You have a supervisor.
Supervisor will say either you need to stop what you're doing because you're going to be working overtime.
No. So there are accepted things, right? There are unforeseen circumstances. Think that you are going to say to an individual, stop what you're doing right now because you need to be off the clock. That happens on TV. That doesn't happen in real life.
Okay.
Because we understand that patients' lives matters.
Right.
And so at the end of the day, if you have to go over, you will, and especially in systems where there's a clock in, a clock out system, there is what it's talked about. But you're talking about, I think the overtime that was being spoken to is a shift.
Yeah.
A whole shift. That means you would have left home or you would have stayed after the shift and work another 6 to 8 hours, whatever, how long the shift is. That's the kind of overtime we're talking about.
Yeah, that's what
Not
I figured.
1 hour or half hour, 45 minutes. That's just say peddling in ridiculous at that point.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to explain to people last week. But I'm glad you cleared that up. All right, so I know Deandra had some questions about Family Islands.
Of course, yes. Thank you so much. So I know, again, Long Island girl here. There have been some challenges recently with the availability of medicines at the public clinics on Family Islands. Sometimes there are resources that don't exist. I remember, I think it was about maybe 2 years ago, maybe 3 years ago, I had an episode while I was home on Long Island. And the life-saving equipment that I think every clinic should have, they did not. So I'm just wondering about the availability of medicines and resources and why it seems as though some Family Island clinics just don't have them.
So we have on the Family Islands a conundrum of sorts. We do have a shortage of staff. We have a shortage of I call them health service managers, right? Clinic administrators, maybe the simpler term. And so in a number of our Family Islands, especially those in the South, and at that point, so 2 years ago, Long Island did not have a clinic administrator. And so the nurse in charge was responsible for the managing of the operations of the clinic. So that was a dual role that she was playing at that time. Since then, we have installed a clinic administrator in Long Island to assist with making sure that the clinic supplies are being ordered on a regular basis. I guess our focus is to make sure the clinics are stocked and also to walk through our checklists to ensure that the equipment is in place, especially the life-saving equipment that you may not have been there at the time. Make sure that those are brought to our attention so we can procure them and have them placed on those islands. We do have some national challenges with our procurement when it comes to medicines, and we're trying to work through that. I think the issue would have been the cost to some extent, and I think there's some work with the National Health Insurance Authority to address some of that. As well as to ensure that from a public health perspective, we're installing a health information system for pharmacy to track across the system to see who has, who doesn't have, and how we can share our resources to ensure that we don't have stockouts, especially of life-saving medications. And also to make sure that the medications that are there are not expired.
Yeah. All right, so if folks are working maybe in other parts of the world or in the private sector and would want to do more, what should they do?
In terms of volunteering?
Volunteering
right.
or assisting in any way, shape, or form.
So when you're talking about the government system, there are structured ways in which you can engage it. Because, there's always the impression that you want to prevent a person's feeling as if they are trying to buy favors. So one of the things that we have just this year finally pulled the trigger on, and that's the forming of, we call them health district management committees. And what's important about that is it brings together in a structured and formal process the leads of medicine, nursing, administration, pharmacy, within clinics have meetings to discuss what's happening in that facility, to discuss how they are addressing the challenges in their communities and human resources, equipment, etc. And the second part of that, once that committee is established, is now reaching out to form a community group. So with persons, actors in the community, private sector, other entities that may be a part of this process, to have them establish groupings, and through that agency, ability to work with the clinic to meet some of their needs if there are some needs that need to be met or the community wants to meet. So a community agency can, we are always willing to receive once we are clear of, what the process chain of custody and expectations are. But we think that through an established relationship with the clinics and the community, then that's easier. Like the PHA Foundation, for example, who is able to take donations for the Public Hospitals Authority. You want to ensure that we have that same mechanism in our family islands. Because as you mentioned, especially in the family islands, you have second home owners associations, you have just community persons who are, want to give back, and there needs to be an avenue for them to do so, because that allows the system to benefit from their benevolence, as well as it engenders some, of ownership in the facility and partnership.
Nice. All right. Running out of time, but let's see if we can squeeze this call in. We've got a couple of questions here as well. We're talking with Dr. Philip Swan. Caller, good morning. You're live on the air. Are you there?
To you and your guest.
Hi. Good morning.
Let me find out something. Does the nurses and the doctors take an oath, some type of oath, once they in the profession?
Yes, they do.
Okay. I am one of those who believe, like the defense force and the police force, they get to have an association, but not a union. They're not allowed to go on strike. I mean, the nurses. I think the nurses and the doctors should be in that same type of bearing, because I mean, you're dealing with lives. I understand if you work, you should get paid. I don't have a problem with that. But I mean, let's put people's lives and health before money. Everybody needs money. Money answers all day. I ain't running from that. But I mean, have a heart. But some of these same nurses that say they're not working overtime or they're not this thing and that thing, but they're still going to the other hospital and the other doctor clinics when they get off. I don't know if they go there because they figure they'll get paid quicker than government. But I can tell you, government might take a while to pay. But if you don't collect it when your children can collect it, you can get paid.
Okay, all right. Let's get him to respond. I don't know, is that how that works with nurses? I don't know, but I don't know. You would know.
So I think it was maybe 5 or 6 years ago. There was a ruling in a court and a policy decision that was made by the International Labor Organization, ILO, about basically the rights of workers. And so there were, actually, I think it was an edict of sorts that made that there's no grouping that couldn't form a union or couldn't take industrial action. I think it just behooves us as workers, as well as managers of workers or employers of workers, to try to live up to our contracts as best as possible, but also have some level of understanding that systems are fallible because they are ran by humans who are found fallible. So there's a level of understanding that's important as well.
And as you mentioned, these workers are entitled to sick days, and
correct,
and they have them and haven't used up all the sick days.
No, not yet.
So, all right. Somebody's leaving their contact for you. I don't know if they want to volunteer. But we're going to continue the conversation in a couple weeks. More to talk about and some of the systems that have been put in place with you, Dr. Philip Swan. Thank you so much for being here this morning.
Thank you for having me.
We'll see you in 2 weeks. And we're going to take a quick break and be back with our final few minutes of Morning Blend Business here on Guardian Radio 96.9. Thanks again.
Turn this opposite into a club. I'm talking drink, dance, smoke, free, party all night. Come on, come back, go, what's up? Oh, oh, oh. Don't you want me like I want you, baby? Don't you need me like I need you now?
Get ready for the biggest football game of the year, Super Bowl 60. We have the best seat in the house for you. Join Star 106.5 All-Star Team live at Anthony's on Paradise Island on Super Bowl Sunday, February 8th from 2 to 6 p.m. Enjoy giant screens, delicious fun food, ice-cold Calig Bear specials, prizes and surprises non-stop. It's the place to be for Super Bowl Sunday. Anthony's on Paradise Island. Watch the Patriots take on the Seahawks.
Touchdown, Seahawks!
The Star 106.5 All-Star Team will be there to cheer you on from 2 to 6 p.m. It's the biggest Sunday of the year for the biggest game of the year, Super Bowl 60, live at Anthony's on Paradise Island. Don't miss it.
Planning for retirement can be overwhelming, but with CFAL, it doesn't have to be. We offer tailor-made individual, group, and pension solutions that take the guesswork out of retirement planning. Whether it's for you or your company, don't leave your future to chance and let the trusted hands of CFAL's experts guide you toward peace of mind and financial stability. Low upfront costs and affordable monthly payments make it easy for you to build wealth so you can live well. Visit us at cfal.com to start on your path toward financial freedom. CFAL, growing wealth for future generations.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM, streaming on GuardianTalkRadio.com and the Guardian Radio app, Nassau, Bahamas.
It is time for your morning business report brought to you by CFAL. Nassau Cruise Port has set another annual cruise passenger record by welcoming 6.1 million passengers to the cruise terminal in 2025. The company is saying in a statement that passenger record was set via almost 1,600 cruise ship visits last year. The announcement follows the government's recent revelation that the country set a third consecutive tourist visitor record in 2025 by welcoming 12.5 million people by boat and plane. The statement also explained that the 2025 number grew from 5.6 million cruise passengers registered in 2024 through 1,400 cruise calls. Integra Group has revealed that it plans to include a floating helipad as part of its Rosewood Exuma luxury offering, according to several websites that have picked up the announcement. Integra also plans to offer a floating paddle court as part of its unique luxury offering for the development plan for Samson Key in Exuma. CEO Felipe McLean saying that the planned floating helipad, as published by Travel Daily Media, shows their unwavering pursuit to craft experiences that are visionary as they are memorable. And president of the Bahamian Contractors Association, Leonard Sands, speaking after that industrial accident resulting in the death of a worker last week, that more regulation is needed in the construction sector. That worker was buried alive in a quarry and rubble after a hillside collapse. Sands saying, quote, "It underscores, in my view, the point that more regulation in the construction sector is needed, hence our push for the appointment of the contractors board." He says that while accidents tend to happen from time to time, where it impacts the loss of human life is a matter of concern to the association. And the Ministry of Tourism announcing that Breeze Airways is offering a non-stop air service between Tampa, Florida, and Nassau, strengthening summer connectivity to the country and expanding access to one of the destination's key U.S. feeder markets. The ministry is saying that beginning June 11th, 2026, Breeze will operate nonstop service to Nassau twice weekly, offering travelers a convenient and affordable option to experience the country during the peak summer travel season. In your Market Watch, recapping trading on the BISX from Friday, your market movers, APD Limited moving 2,500 shares, closing at $50 unchanged. Finco moving 8,100 shares unchanged at $16.20. Consolidated Water up 10 cents, closing at $7.61. And Emira Incorporated down 31 cents, closing at $12.05. The BISX All Share Index closing at 3,170.05, down 0.21. Recapping the week. The local market ended the week with 76,940 shares crossing the exchange with 7 trades, accumulating a value of $427,671. The BISX All Share Index gained 0.05%, or 0.05 points rather, or 0.002% to end the week at 3,170.13. Yet the index is up 60.54 points, or 1.947%. The week's volume leader, Commonwealth Bank, moving 45,000 shares in 2 trades with a value of $202,050. The value leader, Focall, moving 31,390 shares in 3 trades with a value of $215,021.50. That's your Market Watch. And that is your morning business report, brought to you by CFAL, growing wealth for future generations. And tune in to CFAL Talks tonight at 6:30 p.m. right here on Guardian Radio 96.9. And that is going to do it for us today. Deandra Cartwright, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you so much, Dwight, for having me.
I'll see you next week.
Yes.
And I'll be back tomorrow morning with more Morning Blend and Morning Blend Business right here on Guardian Radio 96.9. Everybody have a great day. Stay tuned for On the Clock with Aaron Green coming up next.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM, streaming on GuardianTalkRadio.com and the Guardian Radio app, Nassau, Bahamas.